The Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast.
Coming to you out of SideQuest Studios, this is The Simpsons Index, episode 250.
Woo! etc. etc. Man, it feels good to hear you say that again. I haven't heard that you say this is the Simpsons Index. Oh, I can't do it. This is the Simpsons Index. There we go.
Simpsons Index.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, get used to it because this is like the point where we're running out of episodes and a change needs to happen because out there, fair listener, this is the last episode that we have to...
Sweet listener.
That we're,
You sweet summer listener wrapped in the blanket of ignorance.
Little do you say what coming, or probably you guessed it because, yeah, there were only ever a few episodes, classic and teens era episodes left to do, and tonight's the last of them.
You're
That's
telling
it.
me there were only so many Simpsons episodes made?
Not yet, there haven't been.
Well, at least in the first two eras. I mean, yeah, if you've been listening for the last year anyway, you've noticed that we've switched formats to only doing one episode at a time. But
We're running out.
yeah, we still
run
have
out.
We still have a couple of straggler 3-episode things to do. But I mean, that's it. We've done them now.
We hate making them. You hate hearing them.
Well, no, we haven't yet. We've still got to do them tonight.
Also,
Anyway.
we love making them, and you probably do hate hearing them.
I mean, why did they come to our concert just to boo us?
So yeah, this podcast will be the last of the old 3-episode review format because, yeah, there are no more classic and teens era episodes left to do, but there are plenty of HD or 2001s, and we kick off this with this episode. We just watched Season 29, Episode 21, Flanders' Ladder. First released in May of 2018, it was directed by Matthew Nastuck, who's, want to make this joke for at least one last time. His name is an anagram of nutsack. And written by J. Stewart Burns. In this episode, Bart falls into a coma and Lisa gaslights him in his dream and makes him dream of a scenario where he helps ghosts, including dead Maud and also his ghost father. And
This was exhausting, man. Even just listening to the recap. Oof.
And I'm trimming it down.
Yeah.
There was a bit that happened before that.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, you would have already seen the episode title. You know what we're reviewing next. And, I think the reasons that
Got some great commercials coming up, kids. Just, just please hold the line.
Well, those two episodes, I knew pretty well from the start of the podcast, those were two that I wanted included in this review. But the HD era episode was always, up in the air, or would I do, a 30s episode or something? But I don't know, because this one, for maybe nothing more than it was the season finale of season 29, so it was the last episode of the 20s. And also there's something, weird about this episode came out after we started our podcast, you know?
That is weird. Fuck,
All
that's
those years
weird.
ago.
So, yeah, I couldn't have even planned doing this one from the start, but, for no other reason, really, than I didn't see any, good final episode potential besides this one.
Yeah.
Not to say that this had good episode potential.
No, but, they've never said that it is, but, you could imagine this at a shot at a finale for The Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
Retooled entirely from the ground
What
up,
a
but yes.
terrible finale.
Anyway, what'd you think of this episode?
I loved it.
Controversial
I
opinion from
like
Dan.
it.
All right, now we've got a good clean soundbite for when we say that for the classic episode. What'd you think of this episode?
Not enjoying this.
Yeah, look, mediocre at best.
It felt confused. It felt badly written. It felt like they got bored and distracted halfway through and forgot what they were doing and kind of went on a sidetrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'll put it this way. I have my usual notes, and across all of it, I've written Ghost Dream. Because no matter what happens, Bart is dreaming.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
even nitpicks or wackiness or heart or any of it kind of doesn't matter, because even within the scope of his dream, the concepts don't matter. The ghost he's helping.
Oh, the stakes are non-existent.
The stakes are
sure.
and you could make them. With this format, you could make them matter.
I was really expecting it to be like the Adventure Time episode, where it turned out one of the ghosts was really a ghost all along. Because the Maud keep cropping up with she had a serious message to say, and she's not part of Lisa's dream. She's a real ghost in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Something. Anyway, the whole dream thing was garbage.
That's
but
the thing, you can wash
there
your
was
hands.
still framing around it, and the framing was rubbish as well. It really rewrote a lot of characters. Lisa
Kind of a bitch. Yeah.
Kind of a bitch. Kind of a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, I could justify that with, she's 8 and she's mad. Even then, pranking your brother when he's in a coma.
Maud blaming Homer for her murder, for her death. Ghost Maud within dreams, Bart.
Yeah, so none of it matters.
Man.
So
but they're all fictional characters. None of it ever matters.
Yeah, and it's just sort of weird with like you were saying about the low stakes. Yeah, the thing that pissed Lisa off is because Bart did a troll video to her and posted up on social media all these things.
No, not only that. Okay, so for the viewers out there, this starts with Bart being like, "Oh, I'm on my laptop and I've got the hardest test ever, and it's that maze where if you touch the side, the zombie face goes ah." And I'm like, fuck me, when did this come out?
May of 2018.
Yeah, 2018. When was that video a thing? Like 2002?
Yeah.
Like, good. I mean, you could call it evergreen, I
There's
guess.
something about the Simpsons and
but
cutting
still.
trends.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of an evergreen line, hey, Evergreen Terrace, what a... Yep. Yeah, he tries to bait in Lisa with this quiz by saying Elon Musk and Angela Merkel were two of the people that passed it. And it's like, yeah. Remember when we thought he was smart?
It was a hell of a time. A long time ago.
Angela Merkel holds up.
All right, well, there we
I
go.
assume. I don't know,
I have no
actually.
idea who that is.
We just call her the Merc now.
Yeah, good old Ange.
Yeah, Frau Merk.
We could be saying something about someone who's genuinely terrible. We have no idea.
German, prime minister?
Yeah, I think she was all right.
Last we checked. We'll Google in the break.
We're watching you, Germany. Anyway, BT, what stands out to you for better or
God, I
worse?
forgot to write down a better. I think it's Ghost Dream that I already yelled earlier. Because, like...
Ghost Dream.
Again, my main thing I think is going to be, what would I change? I'm going to fuck the entire format. What would I change?
No, you don't get to change it.
Excuse
don't
me.
I?
Dude,
Stop
that's
me,
like
Elliot.
question 9.
I'm all the way over here. You could easily walk 3 steps and stop me, but you won't.
Yeah, he's on Planet Beach now.
Yeah, basically, I would have, much like Jacob's Ladder, blur the line between dream and reality. Maybe Bart has been electrocuted, is in a coma, and dreaming all these ghosts. Maybe it's real. Even if you skip that, just fuck it. We're in season 29. Do something weird. Have it be he can see ghosts because he got zapped by lightning. Have these ghosts real, or at least maybe he thinks they are.
He thinks
and
they are.
Then they have weight. Their stories and what their requests mean something. Because the way it is, Ghost Dream, none of this means anything. Or the flip of that, keep it as a ghost dream, but have the things Bart learns be something that matters to him.
All right, Beach, now put a pin in that, because by the time we get to the end of this interview, he's going to have to rephrase and see if he still has the same opinion by then.
I don't change.
No chance.
Well, I mean, that's the sort of weird thing with the whole Bart dream angle of it, because, it's the whole thing that the hackiest thing in storytelling is to end it with, and it was all a dream. We get that front-loaded. Is that worse?
That's the fact. I mean, because again, it's fine if you know, so long as your character is still learning something. But he's not really. He doesn't come out of this with an appreciation of not pranking Lisa or an acceptance of himself in any way. It's just, I had a wacky dream.
Yeah. Shag, what stands out to you for better or worse?
I mean, something doesn't sit with me right about her, the way she sits next to him and tries to whisper sweet nothings into his ear and tries
sweet
to...
nasties.
Yeah. I don't know, something about the way that it kind of makes it out like she's in control of the dream, like she knows what he's... now I'm going to give you a drop of Maud Flanders with a side hit twist of...
Well, we don't really see much of the Lisa doing that scene. It's all implied because that's his dream he's having, and the world totally accepts that it's happening with the sign that says "Do not torment coma patients." Sort of.
Oh my
thing.
god! Do what that? Yeah. Anyway, no, I wanted to put a dot on the frames of Lisa wrapped in Bart's underwear. I thought that in classic sort of Roadrunner-y, Looney Tunes-y sort of visuals of, she's got it on one arm, then on both arms, then on the head, and then on her legs, and then she's hog-tied in, and then it twisted up and pretzels. And
it did feel like a natural enough progression to try and get rid of it and only make it worse as it went.
That felt Simpsons-y to me.
Yeah.
The next bit of Homer doing the horn from the ad on the VCR that they both remember but the kids don't remember. And oh my gosh, and you ever remember ads from the 90s and how the jingles just don't get out of your heads? Oh my god, how did that jingle go again?
Yeah, what I hated about that joke is they played the ad and then they showed Homer and Marge reenacting the same thing we just saw.
Yeah,
it wasn't just the joke was there if you got it.
Yeah, so it's show tell show.
Yep.
I think they actually did it 3 times because she sort of did it and then they did it together.
Once, twice, 3 times a Ricola joke.
Well, there is comedy rule of 3s, but that only applies when it's comedy.
Ooh, ba-bam.
Ouchies.
Elliot, what's a moment from the best of the worst that stood out to you, for better or worst? Stuck-it.
I guess the early part of the story is something that like will probably get overlooked mostly in the whole ghost dream of this whole thing, which this episode mostly depends on. But like the starting out of the episode when the internet goes out. Yeah, how did we all like this scene? Like,
I mean, fair, I guess. It was a bit weird to have Homer constantly going, I don't have any internet on my phone. It's like 4G.
this is 2018, man.
Yeah, deal
They
with
probably
it,
added
right?
3G.
Yeah, no way the mobile phones all went out. Whatever. No way that if the thing got hit by lightning, their neighbors was working.
Yeah.
No way that stealing the router would help if at all.
I will excuse that just because Homer's an idiot, and fair enough, maybe he doesn't get that. But there wasn't... The show implied that was an idea that would work because it wasn't, I'll steal the router. That's where they keep the internet.
Yeah,
like that
Bart
would have
was
been
on it too.
Yeah, there was no, that's not how
Surely
routers
Bart
work.
would know how to steal internet.
And this brings me to...
You'd still need his password. God damn.
Right.
One of the unexpected parts of this episode for me, and this is going to sound like it's me answering the what would I change question, even though I just scolded
Interesting.
BT for doing that.
I'm always ahead of you, man.
But it's so weird for an episode.
Put a pin in it until we get that. No, keep going.
No, it's just weird for an episode that starts out, Bart stealing, helping Homer steal internet from Ned,
Yeah.
then has a dream about his dead wife,
Yeah.
and then doesn't
Ned
link those two.
two.
Factor into the ending at all.
Yeah. Yeah, for real, man.
It's Flanders' Ladder. That's the title of the episode.
Right.
I guess it must be Flanders' Ladder that they're using, but yeah. But you did mention Jacob's Ladder before.
Yeah.
So what does this have anything to do with that? Like the reference?
No, not at all. Jacob's... Oh, yes. Backtrack.
Yeah.
Jacob's Ladder, of course, is a movie about a guy who's trapped in a dream and doesn't know that he's dying or know that he's in a dream. And he has to figure out, Truman Show style, that it's actually a dream and all the creepy things that he thinks there's like a cult of creepy rat people chasing around, but he's just slowly like his brain's degrading as he bleeds out and dies. And that's the sad end of the movie.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Weird as fuck.
But there's
also a rock song by the band Rush. But don't let me stop you.
Fucking nerd,
just
man.
cut it in later, man. Oh,
You cut it in later. Then remix it
yeah.
with
Yeah.
Whitney Houston.
Right, I suddenly feel like we should be saying all our lines a little more rhythmically.
Saying all our lines a little more rhythmically.
Well, now I'm going to have to,
And in harmony.
Harmony.
Wackiness.
Everybody gets one.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty wacky. We have to sort of think outside the dream frame. The ladder sinking into the ground.
Yeah, that was a visual I liked. Homer
but
trying to climb the ladder and just keeps sinking down.
There was something funny about the writing of circus elephant grade ladders or something
Yeah.
like
It
that.
was just a little too lampshaded for me to laugh at it.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
was a little too zoomed in.
oh,
Like,
who is
oh,
this ladder made for? It's like elephant grade.
Yeah. Actually, laugh report. Did any of us laugh in this?
No.
Yeah.
Look, I got rid of the air from my nose maybe twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the no tormenting the coma patients line. There were a couple of tiny, I wouldn't even call them zingers.
Zongers.
But no,
off-brand zingers.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that elephant ladder bit, we get one of many drag-out jokes with Homer just saying refresh, refresh, refresh.
Oh my
all the
God,
time.
I'm so sick of the drag out joke. They saw it in Family Guy, which it was funny the first time, but they shouldn't have kept reusing it either.
Yeah, and even with the Lisa, like, the social media thing is a fair enough plot point, but again, undermined by one of those jokes just going, post, 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 post. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just going to say, there's a lot of, like, body negativity. There's a bit of fat shaming in this. I mean, in The Simpsons in general, I suppose.
Oh,
But
yeah, it's one of the things that's hard to return to. They're very mean to Patty and Selma.
Yeah, and Homer, I'm thinking about the deaths. He died from overweight or something, and then they go in and all the fat drunks die from alcohol poison, and then they go... I hadn't quite latched on that we were showing how everyone's going to die in the future.
Back up for a quick...
No, that wasn't even the deaths. That was still in ghost death time, wasn't it?
I'm very lost. The fuck you talking about?
Well, there's the part in the dream where there's all the ghosts, and at the end, everyone's dying.
Yeah, that's the end.
No, but then it cuts to after, and everyone's dying of old age, and it has little in memoriams, no ghosts.
Yeah, that's just a side adventure that Bart had where he also saw into the future and learned everyone's deaths.
What the fuck is with that? By the way, let's put a big old fucking pin in. What the heck is that?
Yeah, I mean, that's why if we're going to talk about this is got a big old down arrow.
Fucking weirdest friggin' twist
Yeah, where
ending.
it's-
So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know if we've set it up that well, but like,
No, I was back.
it's basically like the Simpsons post-credits fucking joke thing, the equivalent of Lisa was like, "Oh, Bart, what did you learn? What was it like, or whatever?" And then yeah, he goes, "Yeah, I learned about everybody's deaths. You want me to tell yours?"
Oh, yeah.
But then they have the, like you said, big in memoriam section where
Yeah, and-
we get a sketches of people dying.
And some of them are just depressing. Like Homer just gets shot by police.
Yeah. Smithers kills himself.
Smithers
Yeah.
kills himself. Who drank poison? Someone drank poison.
Ralph drank poison. King
drank
Ralph,
poison.
apparently.
Yeah.
I will say there was a joke I liked there where it implies that, after Homer dies, Ned and Marge marry.
Ned and Marge hook
and
up.
then Marge passes away at like 93.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then Ned has a big wall of my dead wives.
No. Ned
Yeah.
has a small wall of the 3 dead wives, and then it pans back to reveal 37 dead wives,
Yeah.
300 dead wives.
That was a fair enough joke.
Yeah.
Again, didn't laugh, but it dislodged a snot.
Didn't laugh. Yeah. And then and then it pans back to stars of Maggie's head, and it's like Maggie never died.
And
We
she-
didn't
Play
kill the
clonk.
baby.
Yeah, we couldn't kill the baby. And that wasn't funny or interesting or clever or making any point or sense. And I feel like this was trying to do an Animal House ending, and I think that would have been funnier to kind of lean into that, you know? Smithers
Yeah.
died at 8:50 in the middle of a wild gunfight scene with a thing, and have like the freeze frame of him doing the wacky gunfight.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
do something with it.
No, don't show me how he dies.
Yeah.
Give me a wacky postcard.
These were
of like,
this was a miserable way to end what
Yep.
they thought was the whole show, right?
Yeah, Lisa died a Buddhist and realized, it was all a waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it's hard to talk about the wackiness of this one because, Ghost Dream, inherently wacky.
Yeah.
Let's flip to the heart then. Did you all feel the bumps? Bart's trying to help Maud, unfinished business and...
I had one note, and then I read it, and then I got mad.
what's that?
All right, so the only heart moment I felt was when... Oh, good Lord. This is going to sound like I had a stroke to the listener who hasn't seen this one. But in the dream, when Homer dies and comes back as a ghost and is getting sent up to heaven, and Bart's all like, you can't leave me because who else is going to raise your kids? And he does say, haha, suckers. And then he's like, oh, Mom's going to marry someone. And he's like, oh, I wanted to be happy. I'm like, that's a sweet moment.
Yeah, that's nice.
But,
That is nice.
But what pisses me off is their conflict is not what needs resolving.
Yeah, they were on the same
Homer
page.
and Bart were never fighting. You need a moment where Bart and Lisa have a reconciliation within Bart's dream, and he wakes up and he wants to talk to her about it and is sorry he pranked her. That's your heart problem.
Yeah.
Fuck it, fail this episode.
Does Bart even, learn the lesson about... Does he apologize to her?
No, she apologizes to him.
Yeah, for messing with him. Huh.
No, fuck it, fail it. I'm done.
She does apologize to
Yeah,
him. He
Maud's
doesn't
ghost
learn the
doesn't
lesson.
relate to Ned in any way. Bart and Homer's thing wasn't set up by anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't hint
Like,
There should have been a metaphor for the lesson that he was learning about Lisa's shared privacy and mutual respect and blah, 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 blah.
But it's not. You know what? That people worry about what it's going to be like when AI writes scripts. This. Literally this.
Yeah, pointless, but with the illusion of meaning.
Yeah, where
you
if you weren't
the
paying
appearance
full
of meaning.
attention, if you didn't think about it, it would appear like a normal show. But the second you start picking at it, nothing fits.
Yeah.
It's like a shitty sweater from your grandmother.
But BT, you aren't wearing the sweater.
Oh, yeah, that I didn't notice he was wearing the whole episode.
Duh!
Yeah, that pointless dun 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 and
Oh,
dun dun
pointless
dun.
dun dun dun. And they closed in on his eyes and cut to black. And then they didn't want to do credits. They wanted to do a little bit more. Oh, wait, we still got some more shtick. Hang on, guys. I got another one.
Yeah, so now I'm mad. I came in on a participant, now I'm pissed.
See, I don't know about you guys, but in the lead up to this, I got all nostalgic and listened to the first episode of the
Look,
Simpsons Index.
I wasn't from nostalgia, it's because you asked us to.
I didn't ask you. I just kindly suggested that you should while
Yeah.
brandishing my weapon. Did you guys listen to it?
Yes,
or?
I did.
What'd you think? Hey guys, what'd you think?
Oh, man. Wow, we're young. And also,
We sound
Danny
different.
calls out the first act, fucked you, way before we had a term for it. So well done, bro.
Hey.
Oh, it's a classic. It's a classic trope. I listened to it a while back and I've forgotten most of it, but I remember thinking, wow, we were so fucking drunk.
Yeah, and had no mic control whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
I said so much. I mean, I know I still say so much. I'm saying so much right now.
And we repeat ourselves so much. I'm
So
so
much.
sorry, audience. We say
So
the same
much.
thing again and again and so much.
So much.
We repeat ourselves so much.
And again, like...
it's just like so much.
But yeah, that episode's only fucking an hour long, like not even, I think. But like one of my only regrets about that episode is like I kind of went way too easy, way too early with the podcast.
Yeah.
I'd
Well, we
heard.
didn't
Yeah.
We didn't know.
We didn't know.
I didn't know the ratio of good to bad episodes from
Sorry.
the HD was so low.
It needs to be more we didn't know. We didn't know.
I honestly would have scored.
Not like this.
If I'd had the context, like I think I would have scored Bartless higher. That episode's decent. Like
There's some I definitely want to go back to, and that
yeah. We need to do a Simpsons Index round 2.
well, now we can. We've finished this. So yeah, let's
Let's just do it all
here
over
we go
again.
again.
we do anything, review it in reverse order, a la Thrones of Game.
Oh,
You know how
perfect.
people get to the end of The Office and they put on season 1 again?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is making up for that on our last episode, I guess, while also putting you through all the bad episodes as well. Anyway,
So much.
So much.
it's just fun that this is our bookends of like, yeah, this HD episode, not bad. This one, holy fuck, did a computer write this?
Oh.
A computer from 2018.
It's like malicious for them forcing us to watch it, you know? It's a just act of malice now. It's very spiteful.
But did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Written by AI, yes.
Glad you asked me that. Great question. It did not, but little tiny snippets did.
Again, parts like, okay, what do they do when the internet's out? That's fine, you can do that. What do they do if Bart's in a coma and he's, dreamed about ghosts? Okay, weird, but sure.
Having Homer and Bart go on a caper to steal the neighbor's internet and
Yeah.
the ladder shtick,
Yeah.
that's classic Simpsons.
It's just-
Simpsons.
It's too many things that should kick off its own plot, stapled together into
Yeah.
a non-plot.
And then nothing happens. And freaking Lisa was a maniac, man. She is not Lisaing her proper Lisas.
No, that's like an overreaction even for Lisa to fucking attempt to tamper with your brother's brain when...
In a coma.
In a coma when, in this world, it's not explicitly proven that is what happened, but in this universe, it is kind of laid out for her that this is exactly what will happen.
She did see a sign that said no torturing coma patients. And then she
what'd she
kept
do?
torturing.
But yeah, would a classic episode do this sort of, like, it's just the ghost stream. It just feels so fucking hacky and like...
Yeah.
I mean, the closest we have is the clip show when Homer's in a coma after Bart's April Fool's
Say
prank.
Homer's in a coma.
Homer's in a coma.
Homer's in a coma.
Homer's in a coma.
Homer's in a coma. Okay, now we've all said it clean. I
So
can take
much.
it.
Homer's in a coma.
Homer's in a coma. Homer's in a coma.
Hey,
Homer's
hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, you guys. Okay.
But I was trying to think of, like, is there classic era equivalents of this? But, like, anytime they do that fucking ghost stream shtick, it is all about, like, here, quickly learn a lesson so you can move the plot along.
Wake up with a
Yeah.
standard scream. And,
Yeah, exactly. Colonel Clink, all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming his form.
So did it feel like a Simpsons episode?
I
Well-
mean, we've been off it for 10 minutes, so no.
Well, like, and doing the callbacks, because, yeah, this one is attempting to be a chapter in the history of, the
Yeah.
Maud death story, where, yeah,
All the ghosts are characters that did die or had voice actors die off.
Okay, so earlier I tried to close my notebook dramatically, and symbolically it
Yeah.
launched the page with my notes off out of the book. But now for you, the
Ghost did it.
listener, I'm gonna go read those notes. I was gonna
He's
leave
gonna
them
suck
there.
eggs. He's doing it.
Oh, yeah, and in amongst these sequences, we get one of the guest stars of this episode. Oh, the only guest star, sorry. Jackie Mason's returning as Rabbi Krostofsky, someone they killed off about 3 seasons earlier.
Yeah.
Is Mrs. Glick dead? She was there.
In this season, she is, I guess.
And again, it's like, okay, but then it has the excuse of, well, Bart's streaming, she's dead. It's like, but then does anything...
Does anything matter? I noticed that psycho doctor.
And his Vegas mom was
Viscose.
there.
You know the guy from the electroshock therapy episode.
Oh, Dr. Marvin
Yeah,
Monroe.
he's been dead.
He was sort of drawn in that early style. Did you notice that some of the ghosts were drawn different to the other ones?
Oh, yeah, I guess that's a nice touch if that's what they were going for. Like,
Or they just fucking copy-pasted it out of Photoshop.
well, actually, oh man, sorry, we are jumping around a lot, but so does this episode, so who cares?
It's all a dream. They'll wake up. Our audience will wake up and not remember any of it.
I have had people like tell me, "Oh, I loved falling asleep to your podcast." I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
You can do that. We need to yell more.
But yeah, when they're in the attic, the internet's gone out. What do we do? Oh, let's find our old videotapes, And that then starts a list of, you called it out. What'd you call them? Like Fast Fives?
Oh, yeah, Fast Five. That's what you do, like a little stand-up slot. But it's sort of like when they throw those little 5 jokes at you at once and then move on.
Yeah, that's right, because they first did it with like all the board games that they were throwing in the fire, which was weird staging because they were in the lounge room that doesn't have the fireplace. Fireplace appears out of nowhere, so Homer can rattle off the entire list of board games that they're throwing in. And then just immediate cut back into the lounge. It was just weird staging. Like, I had to get Jordan's anal corner on this, but
because they never have a fire or a fireplace until they need a fire to burn stuff.
in the wrong room. Beautiful. But then, they do practically the same thing with the VHSs with like the labels, and then Marge reads them out, and then Homer does like a quick impression after.
Oh, dude, not only that, sorry. but they show the box and the labels and they freeze on it for a second so that we can laugh at the 5 labels. And then the 3 things she picks up were 3 more labels so they could do 3 more jokes and have 3 more impressions because we weren't sick of the VHS label joke shtick already.
And one of the tapes was Tracy Ullman show, and then Homer goes, Walter Matthau voice some joke. I didn't fucking pay attention.
Yeah. They were very... What's that word for being self-pat your shoulder? Indulgency, congratulatory.
Haven't we come far?
Yeah.
Trust me, we watched them. You don't really want to remember the Ullman shorts.
Dang, we are amazing, aren't we? Gosh, look at us.
Look how we used to pass this as comedy.
But yes, no, would you watch this one again?
I can't. No, thanks.
Oh, wait, no. We've added this question into the questionnaire way too late in the piece, and stealing it from our good friends at One Good Thing.
OGT.
What's the one better thing?
The one better thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Colonel Clink, the Mindy episode.
Yeah, definitely. Because even, I remember the Homer's in a coma. Yeah. Homer's in a coma, hey episode. We didn't really think was all that much fun from memory. So Homer Mindy, that's a great one. God, who else is in a coma that's actually good? Or has dream sequences or something?
Wrong show, but the Sting Futurama where you think Leela's in the coma. No, you think Fry's in the coma, but then Leela's in the coma.
I even got flashes of that one on the end of this.
Yeah, that's one that almost front loads its dream. I guess it never really settles. That's part of its brilliance. Yeah. Anyway, what's a Simpsons episode that's better than this one?
Weirdly, I keep coming back to The Girl Who Slept Too Little.
Where
Lisa has a bunch of bad dreams because the cemetery has moved in next door. It's an okay episode. It's not great, but
we reviewed that on the 2nd episode of the Simpsons Index from memory.
God, we're old.
Lisa's mean to Bart, and then it goes too far, and she regrets it. Like when she breaks his leg, and then the mud and the wheelbarrow and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yes, Sister Marcetta.
Yeah. I'm sure there's more examples on that theme, but that's the one that clicks me.
Just watch Lisa on Ice for a nice Bart-Lisa conflict that resolves.
Even watch the fucking Homer Coma clip show fucking episode.
Yeah. We've got to stop saying Homer Coma.
Homer Coma.
Homer Coma clip show.
Homer Coma, Homer Coma, no.
Yeah,
Homer Coma.
BT, what would you like to change?
I mean, God, we've already yelled it. Okay, you can have... That's the thing. That's what pisses me off so much. You can have all of this. Just tie it back to the real world.
Yeah.
Have Bart's dreams. Have something about...
valuable lessons learned.
Some kind of lesson. Even if Maude is pissed at Homer for killing her, have him learn a lesson about holding a grudge and understanding that if he keeps being mean to Lisa, she's going to hold a grudge and that's going to ruin their relationship. Something. Anything that brings the dream back to the actual storyline is what's so obviously missing.
It's just the writers getting distracted and doing something else for 20 minutes.
For real.
So that is going to be my biggest number one. Fix this and I won't hate it.
Danny, what would you like to change?
I can't remember which one of you said it out loud, but
Elliot.
One of them things that, like, your Supernaturals and your Buffys and your whatnots, you know, your thriller of the week.
Yeah.
Where the ghost runs through and it turns out that he wasn't the one in the coma. He was, it was the other one in the coma all along. I love that shit. I love that shit.
Yeah.
And he looks down and he's like, wait a second, that's my body. Oh,
Yeah.
and then he looks down at his hands and he starts to see through them. And
maybe pull a random one where, the lightning struck the ladder, but it went down the rungs and it hit Homer. And this has all been Homer's dream of Bart having a dream. Something.
Yeah, I think the whole dream sequence thing doesn't need really to happen. But not on that scale, and definitely not on that meandering fucking distraction. And then the whole outro of this is how everybody dies. They thought that was a really fun, wacky, like little outro Animal House. Hey, this is how they all party into the sunset. But no, this is some sad, grim shit. What a disgusting way to end your series.
And yeah, they paid for a needle drop by Sia in this as well.
Yeah.
She don't come cheap.
Yeah.
No. She likes to swing from chandeliers. Those things, they're expensive.
Man, and this scene was not deserving of the powerful music outro where they where for the one time in X hundred episodes, they finally changed the outro music.
Yeah.
In Rick and Morty, where he tries to kill himself and then he falls unconscious before the bullet goes, and then they have that powerful fucking music.
Yeah,
and
Nine Inch Nails fucking version of Hurt.
Yeah, no.
As we know, Johnny Cash wrote that.
Why do you anger people?
It wasn't that, was it?
Oh, no, you're right. That had a girly singer on it. I
Yeah.
forgot,
It's that one song with the piano and stuff. Doesn't matter, but it was a really powerful moment, and that whole song is linked forever to that one scene in everyone's psyche,
Yeah, for real. And yeah, this doesn't just have that power because they don't treat it with the reverence that it deserves, because it's all a dream plot. It's all a dream ending anyway.
Yeah.
Nothing mattered.
Yeah.
And then here's a bunch of sketches about the funny...
Sketches about them dying, man. It might as well have been fucking Hans Moleman Nutshot compilation.
I mean, that would have been at least memeable.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, but you put it to the fucking Sia song. Oh, man.
Simpsons. That's how you end the series right there.
Yes, what would you change?
Nothing but 22 minutes of Hans Moleman getting shot in the nuts. You know what? The t-shirt cannon that killed Maud to the nuts of Hans Moleman.
Oh, God.
Well, and bringing it to that, look, that's just the simple thing for me. I don't get Maud's motivation here. To get revenge on Homer. Why isn't then the lesson, Bart trying to make her realize that she's just mad at dying. She's mad that Ned's moved on. She's got unfinished business because she's
blaming Homer for these crazy OH&S violations, shooting t-shirts at people's while there's no fence behind them. Bart calls out the no walls behind him. Oh my God. Homer happens to coincidentally bend over at the right time and she happens to coincidentally stand up. Of the 1,000 of guilty people in this murder by manslaughter charge.
Each of the people that shot a t-shirt cannon at him.
Dude, the marketing execs and the OH&S and everyone that thought this was a good idea.
But yeah, because Bart also brings up to Maud, Ned remarried, and go, hey, what?
But it was too late. She'd already committed to going to heaven.
Yeah. But there could be an interesting thing as well, because by this point, Ned had remarried, but also Edna had died, and they'd acknowledged it in the show. Just it wasn't made a big thing of. It was just sort of a little post-credits.
Because the actual voice actor died.
So why wasn't that a thing where then Maud could see Ned that he'd lost yet another wife, and that could help solve some internal
300.
Or 300 by the end of it, yeah. But I don't know. I think there was a lot of sweetness to be had with Maud sort of acknowledging where Ned is now and getting, even if it's through the cipher of Bart's dream.
I think that's a great opportunity for Hart, man. I agree.
Yeah, and then for him not to be able to have a communicable message to Ned is just such a dropped ball.
Yeah. God, the more I think, the more I hate it.
Dang.
The more I think.
Ooh.
Ned, I had a
just
dream
trying to bring
about
some levity
Maud.
to this, folks.
Even
Waka
if
waka.
it's just Ned, I had a dream about Maud and nothing important or useful came about it, he still would have some really poignant words to say, I think,
That's the thing. Have something to do with Maud, and then when Bart gets out of the coma, he even says to Lisa, were you saying things to give me weird dreams? And she'd be like, yeah, I was. He goes, oh, why did you bring up Maud? She goes, I didn't. And then he goes to Ned and tells her tells him something that he saw.
Yeah.
And it's still the question of... That could have been beautiful.
Yeah, was this real or was this some kind of weird coma fantasy? Who knows? But if Ned gets some kind of closure from it, that's wonderful.
Even if it's just, you're sweet to say that, Barty diddly do.
Yeah, and then when he looks meaningfully at some pictures, the end.
That could have been a beautiful moment. But it was not. Don't forget that. That was not a moment that happened.
Yeah, I mean, we're here. It's time for our final notes.
Now it's time.
And now it's time.
It's time for our final notes. Everyone's
Final
notes.
Notes.
And so on.
Final. Notes.
Final notes.
Dang, we both went for the third.
We both tried to be the second, Dapper Dan. Speaking of Dapper Dan, do you have any final notes about bits from this episode you want to mention before we move on to the rankings?
Here's Dapper, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? We've really covered it. We didn't mention that it was it's this fine barn, but there's no couch Amish. But that's English.
And that references electricity in the
Yeah.
And that didn't, like, not that the couch guards need to mean anything, but it came close to meaning something that's so annoying that it felt so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Amish build them a couch, and it's fine.
That's about enough for me, man.
BT, what are your final notes?
Some wackiness. Ned keeps his router in the attic. The fuck? Who does
It was
that?
a bit strange, yeah. Can you imagine, like, stomping up and holding the button to reset for 3 seconds and stomping back down and waiting 15 minutes or so
and then,
while it
like,
reboots?
not getting any decent coverage and the rest of that. Ridiculous.
Yes!
Yeah, it's not worth hiding your ugly router that much.
Yeah.
Like,
when Bart gets struck by lightning, you can see, like, the drawing lines of
I
how
like
you
that.
can
I thought that was kind of nice.
It was the moment of wackiness that was not in a dream. So it was a different take. You don't see the skeleton, you see the draw lines. Okay, it's something.
yeah.
There was a line with the therapist who's all like, "Oh, we don't throw people in loony bins. We put them on the streets." There's some kind of commentary there.
Yeah. I actually kind of like that therapist until suddenly he's like, look behind the couch. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be his body.
Well, even that.
Another suicide for this episode.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if it tied to anything, because he's all like,
I committed suicide.
If you'd come here 5 minutes early, you might have saved me. And it's like the idea that he's trying to pass guilt on, but it's too much of a nightmare and not tied to the ghost thing. So, because then seconds later, he's all like, Bart, you have an amazing gift. You can see ghosts. You can help. It's like,
that's the point where we get distracted.
are you a nightmare that's there to scare him, or are you helpful? Which one is it?
Writers have forgotten what we're doing. We go on this fucking Sixth Sense tangent.
I think you yelled it at that point.
Well, I guess the implication of that, again, I don't feel like they illustrated this well enough, but like Lisa's like, how can I torment Bart? Milhouse fucking was-ups into the room.
Yep.
And so the implication, I'm guessing, is that Milhouse is venting about his therapist, and that's what's implanting the dream. I'm trying to give this episode as best as I can.
It's a stretch on a stretch, man.
Oh, and then he makes fun of Milhouse as well. Like, my daddy got a second cell phone and my mommy found out. Yeah.
They're already divorced. Who the fuck cares?
They got back together by this point.
Oh, yeah. God, I can't keep track. Homer leaving the bar just goes, bye, guys. It was nice getting every answer wrong on Jeopardy. Okay, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I didn't mind that.
But then for some reason, the revenge Maude gets Bart to pull on Homer is to get the bullies in Scream masks to shoot him with t-shirt cannons. And I was just like, how? What?
To death.
To death. He didn't mean it to be to death, but it was to death. I can't remember who says it, but I think it's Marge who's all like, it was his weight. All those peanut butter stuffed hot dogs and cookie dough.
Why aren't we writing this down?
Full of Swiss cheese or Swiss cheese filled with cookie
he
dough.
was doomed when they started putting cheese in pizza crusts.
Yeah.
And the last one that I have is actually kind of a positive one where we see Bart die, which is weird. He is in a Justice of the Supreme Court.
Oh, yeah, because we all know he does
Yes.
become Supreme Justice.
So that's kind of at least keeping a degree of future continuity. It doesn't matter, but
Although when he gets hit by the wheelchair, man, he gets wrecked. Poor
Yeah.
dude is a mess of old broken bones and wheelchair tracks.
that's what happens when you run someone over when they're 80.
That's it. He gave Skinner the heart attack, so he deserved it. No, it's funny that happened to him. Because this is a comedy
This is
show
comedy.
we're watching.
I would say
Comedy.
neither of those things
Comedy.
are true.
Comedy.
I like that Sideshow Mel calls his like social media follows the boneheads.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. Flanders at one point is looking up IMD Bible. Again, not bad.
Sure, why not?
Did you like that joke, IMD BT?
I did not IMDb it.
BC is for
I
Ben
may
Calloway.
have been making up. God, stop giving away my mistake.
You popped for the osteoectomy joke. What was that again?
Oh, you know how the sign outside the hospital keeps changing like a
Yeah.
fire station?
Oh, yeah.
Come for the oscopies, stay for the ectomies.
That's right. Marge can't afford to make Bart a hot breakfast every day, and he's had more comas than hot breakfasts, apparently. Oh, there's the part that I really wanted to bring up.
Hang on.
Yeah, sorry.
One better thing. Bart gets hit by a car.
Hey, there we go.
He's in a coma briefly.
Yeah.
Oh, that episode ends shittily, though.
It does, but it's, dude.
Yeah, better than this. The one thing I really hated was when we zoomed in on Bart's brain. First of all, his brain goes up into his head spikes. That's unsettling.
No girls allowed.
But also, they highlighted the right and left side of his brains with a parody of the Itchy and Scratchy theme song.
And they slowed it down just so that you make sure you could hear all the words.
Right and left and left and right and left.
So
This
creative.
is meaningless.
So creative.
It's never about, if there was a thing with something about being the right and left reactions to being in a coma, sure.
Yeah,
but
those
it
two halves of the
does
brain did not come into play.
matter.
They're like, what do we know about brains? Oh, they have right and left sides. Oh, I've got it.
Yeah. Like, were they really patting themselves? Like, because they're on Hans Zimmer's fucking, they're commissioning him for music now. They're like, guys, we stayed up all night, but fuck, this thing is just brilliant.
Yeah, we've gone in a different direction, Hans. Oh, you're putting this song in. You've paid for it.
And this is a comedy? It's time to rank this thing. On the Simpsons Index, we rank using a 6-point scale, which starts down the bottom at
Failure!
Failure.
if the episode was just meh. You give it a participant. But for the positive rankings, you got okay, bronze, good, silver, excellent, gold. But for the best of the very best, the episodes which The Simpsons could not exist without, you give cubic zirconia. Let me go first. Let me show you how it's done. Fail. Of course it's a fail. Like, I'm almost delighted that it's a fail for this out the last of the triple review episodes. And you know what? It earned it. Well done to the episode for being this bad and meaningless and fucking all over the place. BT, you have the floor.
I came into this room on a participant, so I was like, look, it's boring and I don't really care for it, but it doesn't really bother me. And the more we talked about it, the more I realized it just fails on everything. This doesn't even tell a story. It's just stuff. And not even any of it's fun or funny. It does nothing. It fails to do anything. Ergo, it fails. Kick it into the pit and piss on its ashes.
Wow, it's getting the piss finger. I mean, wait, no.
Piss finger.
Danny, what would you like to rank this episode?
Well, I walked in on a failure. I've had a really unsettled feeling this whole way through the episode. I mean, maybe it is just that it was a dream sequencey thing, and that is supposed to give you a bit of an unsettling feeling, but I don't know, man. Something about this episode from the get-go really didn't sit right with me, and this is an offensive episode that doesn't set out to say anything and succeeds in that. It was really fun actually talking about it. I think I really enjoyed this one.
But it also illustrated the things that need improving when complete rank amateurs know what's wrong with your script.
So easy to fix this, man. And it really does. Have either of you boys read Harry Potter written by AI?
Yeah.
Harry Potter and the small pile of ash in the corner.
Yeah, the portrait of what looks like a small pile of ash.
Yeah.
I rewatched it like 2 days ago.
So
It's hilarious.
But that's what this feels like. The illusion of meaning with no substance or storyline or plot, or they're talking without trying to make a point.
Yeah.
That's what dementia is.
Ron was going to be spiders. He just was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this will be a unanimous failure. We are giving this episode
The index finger!
Oh, it feels like a while since we've done that.
It will be the 8th episode from season 28 to be getting the finger. It will be joining Treehouse of Horror 28. I think that's the one where Sideshow Bob finally kills Bart.
Yeah.
The segment that's literally an Itchy and Scratchy sketch.
Yeah. Grampy, can you hear me? I think that's when Grandpa
He gets
gets
deaf
hearing aids,
or
but
something.
fakes it.
There's a lot
Like, he
of red
thinks
on that spreadsheet.
Well, these are the failure section. The old blue bear, she ain't what she used to be. Where Marge becomes the mayor. Mr. Lisa's Opus. This is like the sequel to Barthood, but it's like Lisa through the years. And we hated that one.
All right. I
Didn't like
remember.
Barthood much either, I think.
No, Barthood was great.
Yeah.
You see Homer smoke a bong in it. It's wonderful.
That's right.
Gone Boy, which is where Bart and Milhouse disappear and Sideshow Bob is kidnapping him in a
In like
nuclear
a
bunker.
abandoned silo.
Oh,
And
yes!
Shaq's there and he magically flies away.
Fuck me.
Frink gets testy. That's where the Frink tests their smartness measure.
yes,
and
that was
Lisa
bad.
gets the blues where they go to New Orleans.
Oh, that was so bad! Man, these are really garbage.
Well, and I must ask you guys, is that reputation justified?
Is that reputation justified? Man, dusting that one off.
Dennis Perkins of the AV
Dennis
Club.
the wild card Perkins.
He gave this
Wild
episode
card.
a C-.
Like, that's pretty low for Dennis.
Yeah, I
generous.
mean, yeah, because they generally don't go below a D unless it's really, really bad. And like F is like they're two key submarine ranking.
Yeah.
But yeah, he goes on to say, so yeah, C- is pretty fucking low for him. Yeah, Flanders' Ladder is a piddling mess of an episode.
Wow.
He's American as well. Peppered with a
Piddling.
laugh or two that never commits either to going for real emotional resonance or comically undercutting it, so it just bobs along, occasionally landing on a funny idea but built on a disastrous foundation of
Whoa.
mischaracterization and glibness.
Dennis, you're on fire.
So when the ending comes, only the least discriminating would feel its montage of character deaths as anything but a
Yes.
cheap gambit to close out a truly disappointing episode and season with unmerited weight.
Preach it, sister.
Oh, fuck
my
the last
boy.
55 minutes.
He summed it up, didn't he?
Well done. I mean, Dennis, you can't go lower than a C
Fucking didn't
minus.
pull his punches.
And, look, we're not done with season 29 yet, but as it stands, it's ranking as our 32nd worst season. Anyway, coming up next, we go to the teens era for the final time. As we
Wow.
look at an episode that they thought might be a series finale, we're going to go watch Behind the Laughter. We will be back.
Oh, I remember this. It wasn't great.
Do you remember
Was it?
this?
Save the rankings for the rankings.
Oh, prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
Let's rank this thing. No, let's watch the
Prove me
episode first.
wrong.
And we are back, and we just watched our Teens Era episode. This was Season 11, Episode 22. Oh, hey, 22 is divisible by 11. Behind the Laughter.
Boo.
Fucking nerd.
First released in May of Aught, it was directed by Mark Kirkland, written by Tim Long.
Yeah, wow.
Tim Long.
Consultant.
Fuck
John,
off.
Consultant John Schwartzwelder, but still.
And George Meyer. And Mike Scully.
Oh.
And Matt Selman.
Hey.
With tortured metaphors, especially by Dave Merkin.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, in this episode, come on, it's Behind the Laughter. Like,
Yeah.
you know it. Even if you say you tuned out in the teens era, you know Behind the Laughter. Hey, guys, what'd you think?
This was some fun. I haven't seen this in a long, long time.
Wow.
Same.
I was not expecting to enjoy this nearly as much as I did. Oh my God, I laughed non-stop for 20-something minutes.
Like, it's so strange because, like, the episode is at its core, like, because I was watching it when I was like, is this nostalgia? Because it's an episode I've seen before. Like, why does this, like, is this okay? Why am I giving the ridiculousness of the premise of this
I
episode
think
a pass?
because how hard it knows.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
the number of ones we've seen said, especially about this season, what was this, 11 or 10?
Yeah, 11.
Yeah, I think 10, 11, they start having episodes where it feels like they're like, oh yeah, we've got 2 seasons left, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, things like the episode with Mr. Burns' son, which is like, hey, party's on, and that's the ending. And they're like, you can only get away, we even said on that review, I think, you can get away with that ending once.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's it. And that's pretty much what they're doing. They're like, yeah, fuck it, we can get away with this. We're on the end, guys. It's fine. This is an episode that is just perfectly self-aware. It's not
Yes.
self-aware to the point of parody or pity of itself, but it knows.
Yeah, they're looking at themselves riding a little too high, and they're like, "Oh shit, we're tap dancing, guys. We're tap
Let's
dancing."
take some air out of these tires.
Yeah. But, like, that's the thing I'm trying to process now is because, like, yeah, at its core, like, what is it? Like, the Simpsons are actors and they're the Simpsons and the reality, like, what's going on here? And then also, it's also doing something I criticize the new episodes of taking a very trendy thing of, back, if you don't know the reference, back in Aught, there was a thing called Behind the Music and on VH1. And this show borrowed so heavily from it to the point that, like, they were, like, in total relationship with the VH1. And
Pronounced
like,
Vachon.
yeah, and one of their people on staff in The Simpsons was like working out of their office so that they could use like their assets to generate the episode.
Yeah.
But I would say, even if you don't know that, you know something like this kind of, what kind of terrible things might have happened in this story next? Find out after the break.
When I was a kid, it seemed like the ultimate self-indulgent little episode, like, oh my God, who do these guys think they fucking are?
Yeah, this thing's got the air of, who the fuck do we think we are?
Yeah, now that I'm watching it as an adult, holy shit, man. These writers are so self-aware of how they've accidentally gotten too big for their britches suddenly, and it's all falling apart around them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say if this came out now, would we have a good reaction to it? I feel like there would be a sense of smugness or
Yeah.
sitting atop the tower going, oh, how silly are we that we are this rich? Whereas it had to have been at this time when they were arguably after the biggest wave of Simpsons. You know, this is post-classic.
Yeah.
But it's still within that era where they can be like, fuck, we have millions on this. Can you believe it?
Season what year was season 11, sorry?
This was released in May of Aught.
Ought.
Yeah, he said ought twice. I feel
Yeah,
like
I
you
know. He was so smug about that,
you
wasn't he?
ought to know.
Hey.
Yeah, ought to know. You.
That's ugly. Oh.
Shag,
Wow.
what stands out to you for better or worse?
I mean, it's such a fast-paced, hard-cutting episode.
That
and
is-
it's so full.
The other thing on this here, it is
Hard
packed.
one to answer.
Especially that first act.
Oh, yeah.
If you can call
I
it
would
that.
like to declare I have 2 full pages of notes.
Yeah, my dude. You been busy. Bleeding a hole in that pen. I think what stands out to me is the courage they had in not doing the intro music or the intro scroll or the intro couch gag or any of that shit.
Yes, they did.
No, they had the fucking behind the music intro.
No, they had the regular Simpsons intro, then we cut to the Simpsons, and
Yeah.
it cuts to...
Did
Yeah.
I just blank through that
Yeah.
whole...
Yeah.
I was so impressed that they did the behind the laughter thing and not the Simpsons at
No,
all.
No, they did. Like, that was one of my notes. This was a regular episode up until that point. Actually, no, my first note was, I was so gay. Because, I started this on Disney Plus, and obviously,
Would you like to watch the ending?
yeah, why is this a fucking setting? Like, I feel like if you watch something to the halfway point, if you go back, you should be resetting it. Fucking
It
garbage
should
app.
ask you, not just
Yeah.
throw you to minute 25.
And the killer was Tim. Well, fuck.
Anything to say for yourself, Tim?
I was so good. But I couldn't tell nobody.
So, yeah, anyway. But yeah, it started out with regular Simpsons thing.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was a weird choice because especially
You go
that's
to
all
a
you're
new,
doing
a
is...
new cloud break as well.
Yeah. Like, it feels like you're doubling your intros, but I guess it's just to sort of mislead you in that way. And then you've settled in, you're comfy, and
What is happening? Oh, wait.
what else did not stand out to you?
BT, what stood
Come
out
back
to you
to me,
for better or
man.
worse?
BT, what stands out to you for better or worse?
I think it's just got to be the over-tortured metaphors they have throughout, especially the visual ones, like the photo frame falls off the mantle and
Yes.
shatters into 4 pieces,
Yes.
and then a hammer comes out and just taps the extra pieces a little bit more.
Just in case.
Or like the Jack in the Box springs out with April on it.
Yes.
It was
What was the
April.
point of that Jack in the Box?
There were so many, pointless cutaways, like, within the tortured metaphors. Like,
The slow-mo Homer head falling and shattering.
Yeah. Oh, the dream was over. Coming up next, was the dream really over? Yes, it was. Or was it?
but like when they're at Thanksgiving and they're talking about the birds, and then the carcass of the career was picked clean, and then
Yes.
it's like,
There was one at the beginning. I wish I'd written it all down because it was too good.
but yeah, then it just cuts to this random ass bit of stock footage of like a nice sunset with a bird flying off in the distance. It's just like these little bits of tenuously linked bits of stock footage. Like,
Yes.
it's such a lovely detail that I don't know if the Simpsons in the nowadays were doing a specific parody of a specific documentary style, if they'd nail it this well.
Yes.
Well, they've
like, it is clearly of a style where, like, it has to be on purpose to be funny. Clearly they're choosing this, like, randomest, stockiest footage to make the point, you know? Man, I'm without words, you know, just for how like quick and self-aware they are.
My other thing was going to be like even in the latter day. I think it's 20 over 30 where they do like a sports documentary style. I think we okayed that one, but stylistic. I'm pretty sure the pattern. No, I can't remember. I swear there's one that got okay, but yeah, they at least have a style parody that if we understood the reference a bit more.
Yeah.
If this one, I haven't seen behind the music, but I know that style of, documentaries. So even if you don't know the specifics, you get the concept.
It's a bit like the toys that made us, like a real heavily reliance on like the narrator and like lots of visual stimulus and sort of stuff like that. By the way, one of the guest stars of this episode, Jim Forbes, the original narrator of VH1's Behind the
nice.
Music. Yeah.
Good touch.
Yeah.
Did a great job.
And yeah, while
Did
we're
a
on
great
guest
job.
stars, what do we think of Willie Nelson in this episode?
I was actually him.
Yeah, playing Ozzy Osbourne.
Fuck off.
No.
Would have been hilarious if it was.
No, Willie Nelson playing Willie Nelson.
Nice.
Really? Willie Nelson? Deep cut there.
Yeah, I know. Swimming the English Channel. I got you, man. Don't worry.
Almost like you've been doing a podcast about The Simpsons or something.
For a fucking long time. Yeah. Look, did great. I didn't even know that was him, but nice. I mean, a lot of these, celebrities sometimes are not really actors either. And he doesn't have a lot to do, but I believed him.
Yes. I like his Pippi Longstocking hair.
Also, the fact that he had the New Awareness Awards was just, what a stupid made-up name.
Play count. You seen this episode before?
Man, we're doing a play count? Wow.
I definitely have.
Why not? It's still on the questionnaire. Even though
I know,
we
yeah.
asked it.
on. Like, I would have assumed that I'd seen it a bunch, but watching this now makes me feel like maybe I haven't seen this as many times as I thought I had, eh?
I've definitely not seen it for like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
But, I've seen it plenty enough times prior, but yeah, it's refreshing.
It feels like the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, that's
the
the
very first time.
it is refreshing. I'm going to quote myself. Because
No, I think Pepsi said that first or something.
no, as in we've watched so much more Simpsons now, and to be able to go back to something like this and have it still feel fresh and funny and very self-aware in the best way possible is just refreshing, like a crisp drink of Pepsi.
I think it was actually Coke that said that. Whatever. It's all soda. It's all refreshing.
Look, if we're getting sponsored by anyone, it's Pepsi Max.
I say we get sponsored by Coke Zero.
I know you don't want that. So you want whichever one's cheapest.
Yep. And inversely, I want whoever's going to pay us more.
Yeah.
Who swears in this? There were a couple of like
Marge does.
Marge.
Either shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
And bleep, he did.
And bleep, he did. Oh, it was so good and so like natural and yet so jarring.
Well, on that, I was going to ask, in relation to the play count, we haven't seen it in a long time. I haven't either. What were the other jokes that, like, surprised you or caught you off guard? Because, that swearing one totally was like, wow, I almost forgot
I
that.
want to set the record straight. I thought the cop was a prostitute.
And then just nods like, yep, that'll
clear everything.
Oh, shit. Marge is like, well, it turns out when people reach for their diaphragm, they don't want to see a picture of my disapproving face. And she holds up a diaphragm.
Although the one I love, and I know it got Danny, I'm just going to steal it from him, was Homer finds a new passion, cleaning mixing desks.
Oh, shit. It's so good. He's sitting there at like fucking Beatles Abbey Road or something, and he's slowly like tweaking knobs, and I'm so waiting for like that shot of, when they pull the harmonies up in Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody or something.
Well, it's an excellent misdirect as well, considering like the source material of behind the music, and that is often the trajectory of musicians in their later career to move into record producer, and production. Like, so it's funny as a surface level joke, and then works on that extra level.
I'd also like to throw to a joke I completely forgot existed, where to fill the time slot, Fox started putting on Peepin' It Real.
Yep.
It just really ties into the, Fox turned into a
Direct
hardcore
camera,
sex.
straight from the Kentucky Target changing rooms or something.
One of the ones that got me as well, where like they were at the start, like where they were doing like a big cut of some of their bigger moments, and then Liz was like, I had no business hosting the Oscars, and someone spat on her.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep spat on her.
So versatile.
The talented spit.
Lucky Lisa.
No idea that was in there, and like it feels so appropriate that this is the last Teens episode where we're doing,
And I get to yell Meryl Streep.
and it has a fucking Meryl Streep reference in it.
Man, and then they have Meryl Streep hawking this loogie in slow-mo, and, and it cuts, and the loogie hits the fucking photograph that falls and shatters.
And she is method. She came in and mocapped that spit.
Yeah.
That's it. And she's worked for The Simpsons by this point. She played Jessica Lovejoy.
You can also see Meryl Streep on Only Murders in the Building, Season 3, out now available on Disney+.
Not grabbing me, man.
Really, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I also called the killer, Cell 5.
Yeah.
Well.
First episode, I figured it out.
Oh, you can figure it out from the first episode?
I did. Cell 5 again.
All right. Diamond Dallas Page over here.
You shouldn't call killers. They can use your phone number to track down your location.
Oh, shit.
This has been a public service announcement by Danny Rosewell.
You shouldn't call killers.
So wackiness. This is hard to answer.
Yeah, I got some things like...
It's like anti-wacky, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, things like, they're all like, would it be a hit? And then we go to a bunch of, girls screaming over Bart skateboarding, and they're in the hysteria ward, and they get hosed down. Ozzy Osbourne biting a Grammy, and it bleeds.
It bleeds. It starts shooting blood out. Oh, my God.
And, yeah, my personal favorite, Homer in Rent 2. Give me the rent. I must have the rent.
Big fucking Moriarty mustache and cape.
It's like they took the script from the, I can't pay the rent, you must pay the rent, and expanded into a musical.
And the biggest whack, which I'm very curious of your thoughts, Elliot, the blue-haired lawyer with black hair.
Oh shit.
Whoa, hey,
Jordan Zainal corner.
Well, that's the thing. It feels like such an obvious thing to change that maybe they're saying, in the show he puts on a wig, but in real life he actually has black hair.
Oh,
because
blue is the color of his character's hair.
It's been 11 years. They know it's blue-haired lawyer.
Yeah.
I can't remember. In the early days, did he have different hair? I can't remember.
I see a blue-haired lawyer and I want to paint his hair black. Yeah. That's all I got for that. That's my thoughts on that one. Yeah, wackiness. So, of course they use the cartoony space as well, and they really, get to afford to have some wacky jokes under this premise. But, because of that, I love these little glimpses of the Simpsons show you see within, the behind the scenes of it. And, the footage of the girls going nuts is, just Bart skateboarding. And then, in Times Square, they're playing a part of an episode where Marge is vacuuming, and people are like, vacuuming. Look at a vacuum.
Comedy.
That's some really fun choices right there.
Yeah. But, I mean, just the shot of Marge on Times Square and everyone, behind the picket fences pointing and laughing. Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's so
We've
good.
all been to New York. We all like to watch sitcoms in Times Square.
Yeah.
Simcoms. Yeah.
Sitcom for Sims.
I thought it was wacky, sort of. All the fucking cutaway metaphor gags. The woodpeckers are still in my head. Right? It's just
Woodpeckers of distrust.
Yeah.
They work their way from an omelet metaphor. It's so hard to follow. It's amazing.
Such nonsense. And all the slow-mo ominous shit. The ominous photograph falling and breaking. The ominous head falling and breaking. The ominous woodpecker falling and breaking. It's just such a scathing indictment of American docudrama directorial style. And
it's so sensationalistic and would lead to sort of more of the TMZ sort of style of entertainment. You can trace that lineage, and they totally playing into it and kind of hitting all the beats. There's drug addictions, fucking Bart has a plane incident. He's a fucking Gallagher level. That makes so much sense.
It's perfect, right?
Yeah.
And then him walking out with his shirtless, with his jacket unzipped, and then with his handcuffs and his hiding his head and everything. It's just so on the nose, It's right on the pulse.
Yeah. Look, this episode, in a very different way to the last one, is hard to talk about the wackiness because it's all encompassing. So let's take a brief stop by the heart of the questionnaire, which is the hard question. How was it? Did you get the bumps?
But would they get bumps?
You know what?
The bumps of blood or the bumps of mistrust? Sorry.
Hang on.
Yeah, he's thinking about something.
It sort of is like a zeitgeisty bumps about the writers and what they're going through. You know, it's not a bumps about the cast of the Simpsons or the Simpsons cast pretending to be the Simpsons. It's about the actual writers and, And
let's write about a dysfunctional family because that's not what's on TV right now.
Yeah, it's like how every fucking scriptwriter, their secret favorite piece is an Abed script about how hard it is to be a scriptwriter, I've got this great idea. It's about being an underpaid scriptwriter in Hollywood. No one wants to buy his script, but his script is about a scriptwriter in Hollywood.
And then Meryl Streep spits on him.
Yeah, it's perfect.
No, but it's interesting that this episode has so many credited writers, and even they've said behind the scenes, this was actually a real team effort. This was just sort of the most, and it's
and yet it works. They are on the same page, and it works. It's really just smokes.
Well, like, and that's sort of a weird thing with the 4 writing credits here, and then, like, it doesn't take much research to find out that they were like, yeah, David Merkin was, like, responsible for most of those tortured metaphors, and also former Seinfeld writers Tom Gamble and Max Pross were, like, hugely contributing to this episode. And, like, and the credited writers is really interesting. Like, Tim Long, new guy, George Meyer, very old guy, Mike Scully, a tweener, and then, Matt Selman, also a tweener. So, like, in a lot of ways, and Tom Gamble and Max Pross would be, like, new at this point, but obviously not new to the writing game. So, but, yeah, this was a real fucking passing of the Simpsons baton moment, and it's, like, interesting that it's captured with this many credited writers. Not something they've ever done, or to my knowledge, having reviewed 670 of these fucking things by now.
Yeah, in my humble amateur opinion.
Like, only in the Treehouse of Horrors do they, like, have this close to this many.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing it ended up balanced and not completely disjointed, but damn.
Especially because Tim Long was involved.
Right.
Yeah, and we've...
Nothing personal, Timmy. You've done some great
it's
work.
personal, Tim.
Right here. I'm
Yeah,
very
exactly.
impressed.
Like, we've previously accredited the tipping point to Tim Long's episode of the one with the racehorse Duncan, where it starts off reasonably grounded and then goes into elves hidden in a tree.
Become one of my favorites
And
for
it's-
all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, it's really the point we can say this is where things change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because people want to put to an episode or, like, a season, but, like...
which even referenced in this show was they say our Principal and the Pauper. It's like, no, that was still semi-cohesive.
Yeah, but, like, in the example of, the fucking Elf Jockeys episode, you can see that tipping point mid-episode.
Yeah.
That is, like...
And that's the thing.
yeah.
Like, it happens. It's not one and then the other or
This
across
is
the
when
whole
the MDMA
season.
kicks in.
But
Yeah.
it is interesting, that it does reference Principal and the Pauper as, the wacky storylines and incoherent plots.
Real of them to pick like an actual point where things did sort of change, at least slightly, for the more absurd. A shark jump, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, it's just weird to go, okay, we hear you,
earnest.
fan.
Yeah.
It's weird how... Has the Hutch question ever become about the writers so specifically?
Right?
But it is, and that's what carries through the heart. It's an intellectual heart, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, because the heart of the episode where, like, they have the VH1 style fucking breakup, everyone's fucking bad, no one's forgivable. And then Willie Nelson's just like, hey, everybody, you're on stage now. Why don't you hug?
I'm just going to chant hug, and all your problems get fixed. Click.
Much like the Wackies, the heart means something different here.
It points out to me that all this like gritty bio-docu is still fiction about fictional characters. And you can just click your fingers and everything gets better. Woo! It's solved.
They hugged. It's all
Hooray!
over.
It's all over. It's like an icing on the cake of how fake even the real behind the scenes is.
Yep, fake icing for your fake cake.
Yeah.
With the cherry of the next question.
Behind the music.
Ooh.
Did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons? No, it did not.
No, but in the right way.
And yet,
Yeah.
it felt more like a Simpsons episode than like the last 700 we've watched.
It's gone all the way back around.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, anyway, that's question's irrelevant. But,
It is a hard one to answer.
Actually, no, I did want to come back to the feel question, though, because like it is interesting how they do match these character archetypes within the VH1 behind the music archetype. Like, yeah, of course Lisa would be the one to do the tell-all book and monetize that. Like
I've got to say that none of the characters felt like they're characters, but the writing felt more like it's writing at the best, where it is witty and scathing and current commentary, and yet at the same time it's wacky and relatable and silly and obviously made up.
Yeah.
And especially with Bart being the one that's like, yeah, fine, I'll do Teen Wolf 3.
yes.
I've got Fairweather friends to feed.
My desperate entourage needs cocaine. I'll do Teen Wolf 3.
At Coke Zero.
Yeah.
This is a family show.
Not this one.
And now it is. We're pivoting in our 250th episode.
Diet cocaine.
Buy it for your children. Yes or no? Would you watch this one again?
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking bet I would.
Awesome.
I
I'll
would watch it
again.
right now.
But, episodes we want to watch again, we like to think about what playlist we'd put them in. So, what are some Simpsons episodes that would pair nicely with this one?
That's tough because this one is very singular. It does definitely stand on its own.
You didn't ask us what was better than it, and
The
it's a
one
hard one to
better than
answer.
That sort of...
It's
I
a
save
hard
that.
one to answer.
I save that question for episodes that are clearly not
neggies.
as good as some episodes.
Yeah, I'm going to say maybe some of the ones they very heavily reference. So, the one where Homer jumps Springfield Gorge, because they
Sure,
talk
yeah.
about that a lot.
I like that.
And that being a nice little mirror for this.
Yeah, because it's like the first part of the episode, like The Simpsons is like abstracted like from the normal show, and then like it's more in the second act that they get into doing direct references to past actual happenings on the show.
Yes,
Like
yes.
I was thinking, what about like ones where big celebrities like lose the limelight and become bitter and jaded and go shopping in their tracky pants?
Yeah.
Krusty loses all his
Yeah,
money,
yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
or Ken
Burns.
Brockman, Burns.
Burns, yeah, that's a good.
Yeah,
Good episode.
I'm gonna call him Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he's got a character name.
I nearly said Renee Zellweger. That's very
Oh, that'd be great. Let's watch that. Basically the same person.
Wolf Castle is what I was trying to say.
back on the playlist of
Rainier.
like past references where they mention all the guest stars, but they pick like all the lame ones, like
Yeah.
Tom Kite, that golfer Tom Kite.
Dude, you just fucking negged so many celebrities.
Yeah, you know how big of a portion
Gary
our listenership
Oldman,
are
man.
golfers.
Oh my God.
Sir Gary Coleman.
Sir.
Credited as Sir Gary Coleman. in this.
Sir.
Butch Patrick. Actually, I won't say a word against Stephen Hawking. Hawking.
Plural. Yeah, there's more than one of him.
Ah, yes. Not anymore.
That's what he wants you
They
to
all
think.
died simultaneously.
What are some...
Sorry.
I broke Danny. Sorry.
Yeah.
We'll get a replacement. There's more than one of him too.
BT, what would you like to change about this
Oh
one?
man.
Oh, hard question.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything because it's all good. It's all it flows so quickly and it's so front loaded. Like could not keep up with the writing notes, especially in the first third.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything I want to fix. Even like I really dislike the song "I Shot the Sheriff," but Marge's version is so beautifully cheesy, and her like
It's dinner theater, man,
Oh,
and they
yes.
fucking nailed that vibe
I
of
know.
like, a washed up celebrity, and this is the best gig
yeah,
that
and
she
she's
can
all
get.
like, when you see a sheriff, you shoot him. A smile. Oh.
And like 2 lines and she walks.
Yeah.
Man, it's perfect.
But I mean, that's what I was saying before about the characters actually feeling like themselves, because I feel like this is what Marge would do.
Yeah.
Wholesome PG
Yes.
dinner theater. But
Yes.
Fine
Oh,
for $9.90.
God.
What would you like to change, Danny?
I hate to say it, but I wish this was a 90-minute special.
And it had been the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
God. I could have watched this all day. You know what? Okay, what if it was a 90-minute special, but after the 22-minute mark, it stops, and then we watch fucking Huckleberry Hounds episode.
That's a 3-hour special.
Yeah.
What about you, man? What do you got?
I do think the ending's kind of weak sauce, but like it's one of those, by the time that happens, it's like it just feels like one of the handful of jokes that kind of clunked in this.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing, because like I feel like as that could have been done better, all of a sudden they've found another cool funny joke angle to throw into my face. So it does get by me, like even though I do think,
what would you change? How would we fix it?
I don't know. I
It's
think
a tough question. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know. I don't expect an answer.
But I mean, like the way these, VH1 stories tend to end is either they decide to get back together because what else are we going to
realize
do?
we love money.
yeah.
Yeah, or it's,
We can't stay mad at each other when there's so much money
that's
to
it.
make.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's either they get back together because what else are we going to do? We kind of need each other to make
Yeah.
music, or they
Yeah.
get back together because fuck it, we're not profitable without each other.
And Van Halen would never reunite with Sammy Hagar.
Oh, yeah.
Because they made more money reuniting with David Lee Roth and Eddie Van Halen's son on bass.
Yeah.
And let's not forget Van Halen 3 with
Wolfgang Van Halen, I suspect.
What's his face?
Gary something. Gary
Clark
Lee.
Newman.
No,
Gary Newman. It's Gary Newman. I'm pretty sure. Gary
something.
Sinise.
I wish.
he was like some random blues ass singer. Listeners, write in
It
and tell
was
us.
definitely Gary Sinise.
No, he's a bass player, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a very average one.
Yeah. All right.
Sharon, Gary Sharon.
Oh, yeah. Another great episode of Todd in the Shadows. Fuck, we talk about that show a lot on this
It's a really
podcast.
good show.
It really is. And again, for music fans, if you like behind the music, you'd love Todd in the Shadows.
Also, what we do in the shadows. They're very different, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, Train Records, Van Halen 3, and What We Do in the Shadows. All of it.
Yes.
What Todd does in the shadows.
Time for our final notes. Danny, any parts from the episode you want to mention before we move on to the rankings?
And now it's time, yes, and now it's time for his final notes. Everyone's final notes. That was beautiful. No.
Sir.
No, look, I mean, really, we've covered everything in this. I laughed for 22 fucking minutes straight. You know, I can't remember the last time I've seen funnier episodes, but I can't remember the last time I laughed this consistently throughout, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, if you're just listening to us talk about it, go and watch. This was really surprisingly great. That's my final note.
BT.
Let's see, I got plenty. I do like the bit in the beginning where, you know, they're like, Marge and Homer had settled down to this home, and their first son, Bart, and it has Bart like filling up the gas tank with water from the hose, and then Lisa, and she's doing something, and then Marge is rushing to stop her, and finally Maggie's just drawing on Homer on the walls, and Marge just walks in, and is like,
Yeah.
She ranked this a participant.
yeah, their favorite, you know, Ned's all like, they were always sitting on that couch watching that hogwash. Like, our favorite show was Hollywood Hogwash.
So good.
And then they list a bunch of one of them was just dumbing it down. Every day I've thought of firing Marge. It's just, I don't know, it was good. Homer,
man, that was amazing.
The
It's
simple-
jerk-ass, but like
It's
it's
so
done with
good.
such good delivery and
that's
timing.
yeah, even if jokes that maybe aren't great are so quick and smooth, they
it's
work.
the actor saying it. He's allowed to be a jerk ass.
Let's see. The
In
very simple of
character.
like Homer driving to Hollywood, 200 miles. Hollywood, 500 miles. Like,
Whoops, turning around.
yeah. The great meta joke of, you know, let's get some frosty chocolate milkshakes. Cowabunga, dude.
Yeah.
Dad, I've never said cowabunga in my life.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, and then I like in that scene as well, like, I don't love the choking thing, and I've made that very clear across the
Yeah,
podcast.
but they acknowledge when they're like that horrible act of child abuse became
Yeah.
one of our longest running gags.
You'd think that would be the end point for them doing that joke, not that episode in season 22 where, like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar chokes Homer.
Yeah, no,
That's the thing that happened, Shag. You weren't there for that one.
Here it makes sense to be like, they've acknowledged it's actually kind of awful, and that's where you kind of stop doing it.
I feel like I missed something there, guys.
Yeah, you missed the episode where Kareem Abdul-Jabbar chokes Homer and Paul Rudd instructs him to.
Wow.
I just had a stroke.
Wow.
Krusty's,
You've had two tonight since the
I
first
know.
episode we reviewed as
God,
well.
this is
can't
bad
be
for my
healthy.
health.
Yeah. Good thing we're wrapping up the 3-episode review.
Rod's so lovable, though.
Krusty's album Crustophenia is a reference that took me a long time to get.
Yeah.
Was that Quadrophenia?
Yeah, by the
Yep.
Who. Yep.
Who?
You wouldn't have heard of them.
Hey.
I do like Lenny and Carl being like, well, Bart paid us each $1,000 to kiss. And then it goes like, but that piece of interracial homoeroticism was not the final thing. And then it cuts to Bart and he goes, sorry, this is the gorge jump. It's like, well, the script called for me to do this stunt, but I've been up all night getting people to kiss.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, they pass by all the various stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and there's Nelson Mandela with an F1 car for some.
For some reason.
Yeah, it's good.
That's the Mandela effect. I thought he was.
Hey-oo. That's the Doppler effect. Just the very simple of them at the Iowa State Fair being like, something that swings with the beat of New Orleans. No,
Yeah.
something that rocks. That's the sound of the day.
Swings. Rocks. Swings.
Rocks.
Rocks.
Again, a drag out
Not part
joke,
of the
but it
show.
works.
Just
Like,
give the line of, because
It
it's
is
so
such
cheesy.
a corny
and then,
pretend
Yeah.
argument
Yeah,
they
and
would have
then-
at a 50 skit.
Yeah, and then to be like, this was not part of the show.
I love the corniness as well. Like, donut? No, we're here to go nuts.
Oh, it's-
so
But
stupid.
then during the actual
Yeah.
fight, Maggie's just bopping Bart on the head with a tambourine. This is funny.
Adorable violence.
Yeah, exactly. This is the good kind.
And why did they come out in those big heads anyway? Like,
Yeah,
is
there
this
was
a
no
thing?
point to that.
The
They
people
were
in the blood nose
instantly
scenes.
gone.
blood nose seats?
Yeah,
No.
the back row.
Nosebleed
Nosebleeds.
section.
Yeah, blood nose.
Okay.
I like Beater's own better, I gotta say.
Yeah, I got two more.
You are you positive about that joke? Fuck it.
Oh.
Why don't you be negative? How would I possibly get all 5 drops necessary into a cereal every morning?
Yeah.
Horrible act of child abuse.
Yep. And finally, just the Simpsons are going to Delaware.
This was footage that would be used in season 12's Simpsons Tall Tales, where that kicks off like their train journey where they meet the singing hobo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Which
even
we
the-
reviewed with Michael Swaim last year.
Oh, jeez. man.
Whammy.
Whammy McSwaim.
Yeah, we should bring him back someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got for final notes there, Elliot?
I love. I don't know if this was the actual behind the music, but like I said before, they were very keen to let them use all their assets. So probably, man, the sound of that Casio keyboard hit.
It was so 80s.
Delicious. Yeah, I was raised on TV, and I turned out TV.
Yeah,
that was one that surprised me.
Yep.
Oh, this is from this episode.
Yeah.
Right.
That like feels classic era line.
Mm-hmm.
Same as the cop and prostitute one. I forgot it was from this one.
My Funny Family, yeah, Homer's original pitch is the
Mamma
sis.
mia.
Oh, yes.
And Maggie does the Mamma Mia thing when the suns come up.
I just see the line. It was amazing how quickly Dad betrayed his vision of a realistic family.
Yes.
Betrayed his
my
vision.
God.
And Barter's the boss. I don't know why. The line does stick with me, Sim. Son, where's my dinner?
Yep.
Yeah. It could have been a great show. The guards that
Yeah,
would like
Homer
not
wasn't
let him
writing
into pitch his demo tape and the
Yes.
over-dramatic
Yeah, the gate's
boom
closed,
gate.
boom, and
Yeah.
the boom gate goes down, boom, and the guy just shakes his head, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a visual joke, but hopefully it'll translate with the captions on.
Okay, so we'll really describe it. So a guard turns his head to the left, and once it hits the final tilt of all the way he can go to the left, it goes boom, and then he goes all the way to the right. Once it finally gets to the shoulder point and stops again, it goes boom, and then he goes back to the left.
Wait, I'm still confused.
Shut up.
I love when they're recording Simpsons Christmas Boogie. They said, yeah, we were skeptical, but David Geffen really believed in us. That's funny because Simpsons
I
Sing the
missed that.
Blues was produced on Geffen.
Oh, no.
My gosh.
An
then-
album we reviewed on Murph's Tavern.
I meant to plug him.
Sucks
Yeah.
to be Geffen.
Man, I'm so glad he had us on that episode, but like now I'm mad because it feels weird to review it for here. Because
because we've done it.
but I really want to. I've somehow got still so much to say.
It's a wild time. But even when they then have the Christmas album and it's literally the same song with the word Christmas just rushed in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Simpsons Christmas Boogie.
They were burning Nielsen boxes all over the USA and overseas.
Just like for them to fucking animate Queen Lizzie hawking a big old loogie and eating a TV dinner on her fucking lunchbox
Beautiful.
lap.
Yeah.
So good.
Homer.
It was so good.
It goes well with like the ticker tape parade for the family, and then
Yes.
it's got like the car with the
Yes.
astronaut, the
The
Pope.
Pope and Santa.
And then
Santa.
everyone sees the Simpsons. They're like, "Woo! Holy shit! It's the fucking Simpsons! Oh my god!" And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's just Santa and it's the Pope and the
Pope,
fucking
whatever.
Who gives a shit? I'm out of here."
It's so good. Yeah, horrible detail for, the show to go to that Homer did develop a pill addiction after, having to do all these horrible stunts. It makes you feel bad for a
man.
cartoon, briefly.
Yeah.
It does. It
But
makes
it's
me
such a-
think that all the many times that Homer's been debilitatingly killed and injured.
But it's such a behind the scenes kind of thing of like, in
He's
order to
been
keep
Jackie
up with
Channing
this.
it this whole time.
Yeah.
But also, I've been watching a lot of Dark Side of the Ring, and so many wrestlers at late stages end up took a lot of pain pills and died. Like,
That's that movie where you have to show someone else it in 7 days. Or
And then you have to play Dark Side of the Moon while they watch it.
yes.
And then David Gilmour calls him in 7 days.
Thank you. Dark Side of the Ring. I feel so much better now. Sorry, you were saying wrestling.
Okay, I
I
want to.
feel like I've got brain damage.
I want to make it. Oh, nice.
I know.
It comes in any color you like.
Speak. So running late is
Speak to Me is the track.
no, I want to speak to you. Willie Nelson was
I
running.
feel sorry for anyone who doesn't know the album Dark Side of the Moon backwards.
Those that know, man.
This was at least fun for us.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
about you
It
guys
was a great
listening.
time.
Look, if you don't get it, just trust us. We're on the money.
Yeah. This was funny. I promise.
So Willie Nelson was apparently late to the recording because he was recording with B.B. King.
Are you sure you're pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
Oh, that is such an inside joke. God damn.
Just after another string of inside outs. This podcast is for families.
We should have never lost that E for explicit tag. It was just downhill from there.
I like how they bought MC Hammer's old house and bashing out Homer time into the
Yeah.
fence. That was very good.
That was timeless. Like that one shot, I think, was advertiser, opener, closer for The Simpsons for 20 years.
Oh,
right?
yeah. But hammering out Hammer time to make Homer
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, Bart's immortal dance in the parachute pants.
Yes.
And speaking of dances, fucking Jimmy Carter can get it, man.
I did love distracting the crowd with his comedy break
Oh,
dance.
man. Comedy break. I'm a real old president and I got terrible teeth.
My name is Jimmy and my teeth are silly.
Yes.
All right, it is time to rank this thing.
Well, if we must.
I don't know. Is anyone chambered?
Now that we say it out loud, I don't know where to start.
It's a tough one to rate because it is
to rate means to compare it to every other Simpsons episode.
Yeah, and like standing by itself, it kind of can't. You need the context of the entire show up to this point.
It is not like any other Simpsons episode.
That said, gold. It's hilarious. It's very inside baseball, but that said, it's great. I can't really cubic because I'd be surprised if a fan had never seen this one, and they definitely should, but you would need to see everything else first. Like, you can't isolate this one. I would understand a cubic because, yeah, it's great, and it is such a good bow to put on the entire show up into this point. But, yeah, I think it's not essential, but damn, it's good. It's the cherry on top, we'll put it that way, but it's not the sundae.
This might not be fair, but if he'd said cubic, I was going to go gold. But since he's gone gold, now I can go cubic.
Oh, that is just the integrity of the spreadsheet.
I know.
Have you no standards, sir?
I know. Because I do think it's cubic. It is such good writing, and it's so on the zeitgeist, and it's on the money, and it's fast, and it's clever, and it's so clever, and it's so self-aware and brilliant. I would say it was brilliant. It was well acted and well drawn and well everything. But like he said, unless you're already grown up and have seen 15 years of Simpsons and of Hollywood, and you understand the insider trading, the inside baseball, it's not going to land. So like The Simpsons being a family programming, this is not a cubic for the family. Your kids aren't going to get it. Your grandma's not going to get it either. But since he's hit gold on it, I'm allowed to hit cubic because it is a fucking cubic episode. It's just a little bit niche in how it lands.
Yeah, look, despite everything, I've got so few criticisms of it.
It's so good.
And I'm not going to pass up the opportunity to reflect the teens ranking of the episode 1, and I'm going to cubic this one as well.
But when I was 10 and didn't get it, or 2000, I was 15 and barely got it.
Yeah.
That wasn't wrong either, you know?
Like, I feel like over the years, I haven't ever railed hard against this one. Like, and I get if you do, but like the joke telling and the writing and the self-awareness, like I'm repeating everything you guys
Having
say.
said that, Beej. No, hang on.
Beej. That's Eej.
That's Eej.
You're Deej, but not Deej.
No, not Deej. That's Deej is Deej. Shmeej.
I hate that guy, Schmeej.
That's Sheridan.
Poor Sheridan.
We don't have other people starting with sh.
I was like, you're saying Beej is ripping on it so hard for giving it a gold.
Hey, we all went back and listened to episode 1. I've been the harsh judge from the beginning.
That's it. And
it gets my lowest rank ever. 7 thumbs up.
But like, I fully admit this is also a cubic for the teens era caveat as well. And like, same with HOMR, the teens episode we reviewed in episode 1, which got the same ranking as this of adult cubic zirconia.
I see.
So yeah, I like where that sits. Unless you're going to reevaluate your rankings, no.
Oh, I'm sitting pretty.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, this one was so surprising to me as well.
Yeah.
Like, still that I'd seen it this many times and was still so surprised.
Kind of expect to be a little underwhelmed, like when we saw the Troy McClure special.
I was so expecting to be underwhelmed.
What is it, 117th episode spectacular or whatever? I can't remember.
137th.
Yeah, which was, fine, but once you've seen it once, that's about it. Whereas this one, the fact that so many years and so many episodes later still cracks.
Yes. I think there's a few things to take from it, though. It's not just a VH1 parody thing. It's so much more.
Tonally is just, like we said, it got that exact balance of self-awareness perfect.
And it's just joyful to watch.
And it will be the second episode from season 11 to get a dull cubic zirconia, making it equal first for best episode of season 11.
Oh my god! God!
Joining Little Big Mom. That's we saw a clip from this in this episode where Homer's bashing his balls against some snow moguls.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah, so Little Big
Stupid,
Mom's...
sexy Flanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Lisa gaslights Homer and Bart into thinking they have leprosy. That doesn't feel like a good episode.
Look, Lucille Ball told her to.
The ghost of Lucille Ball. Yeah, that ghost dream was fine.
Oh, we can link that one. Yeah.
All right, guys, it is time for the final ever classic episode to review.
Oh my god, I don't know if I'm ready.
Whoa.
We are going to watch The Itchy and Scratchy
Whoa.
and Poochie Show.
Yes.
We'll be back.
Oh man.
After these cartoons.
I hope they bite and fight and bite and bite and fight.
And bark.
No, that sounds terrible.
And we are back, and we just watched our classic episode. Final time is in. Yeah.
Don't say
The
it
final
like
time
that.
it says classic. Yeah.
No, I still might redo episodes, but whatever. Like, but yeah, with this we complete the classic era. We've at
My
least done
gosh.
one pass.
We can always like watch them again though, right?
No, they're dead to us now. They go the way of Poochie. Speaking of which, we just watched Season 8, Episode 14, The Itchy and Scratchy and Poochie Show. First released in February of 1997, it was directed by Stephen Dean Moore, written by David X. Cohen.
Oh.
In this episode, come on. Some titles give it away, and then some titles give it away now. A song I'm sure Poochie would have sang had they let him do the full season.
Oh man, if you'd given him 5 seconds. I bet he's wearing a Chili Peppers shirt the whole time.
When I gotta put it in you. I'm trying to do Homer doing Chili
Oh,
Peppers.
good.
Wasn't
Man.
terrible.
Look, yeah, I know what you were going for.
So
Yeah.
this is the one.
Time for a new album. You know, Simpsons Sing the Blues was a long time ago. Simpsons Sing the Peppers.
This is the one where Homer raps unintelligibly.
downtown.
Marge?
Is where I cowabunga.
Yeah. Ah.
Sax solo.
Oh, God. Stop. He's already dead.
Yeah, guys, what'd you think?
This is pretty good.
I just think it's neat.
I was, this was long planned as the final episode because of the amount of meta commentary
Oh,
it
man.
makes about
Yeah.
it. So, like,
Saturated.
because,
Man.
this is the
I thought
episode.
the last one was self-aware,
Yeah.
right? This one is fucking whoo.
So yeah, this one, this was the episode where the Simpsons episode count surpassed the Flintstones,
Ah.
the previous holder of
Wow.
longest running animated sitcom. So yeah, of course they had to comment on it in some way. But it was definitely a more deft touch and more within the Simpsons realm of universe than certainly Behind the Laughter was. You got to give it that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
All within universe, except for Roy.
Yeah.
Did you say death touch?
Deft.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
As in Deft Punk.
Yeah, not as in roll D20 for casting death touch.
So on Roy as well, so this episode and that whole thing was born out of the writers literally getting network notes that was like, yeah, we need to change up The Simpsons. The ratings are starting to slip this season.
Yeah.
Attitude.
We want you to introduce a character that moves in with The Simpsons and lives with them and has their
really?
own episodes
Yeah,
and
I
things
heard
like
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so this was just a response to that. Not that they asked for a specific Roy/Poochie type.
Yeah.
But it's like
But
an essay on why that's a bad idea.
yeah.
yeah, I mean, so many shows had that before. Like fucking
Yeah.
one of Leo DiCaprio's early roles, fucking Growing Pains.
Oh, of
Joining
course.
that show as a last desperate attempt to
Oh,
revitalize
yeah.
the series.
It was a very natural move in the 80s because the sitcoms were everywhere and
Yeah.
they did have such a walk-on, walk-off style cast.
Bring in a new character.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
to I suppose it's to our generation. It makes me think of Buffy, where they just wrote in her little sister in like season 6 or something.
Yeah, but that was like for a purpose. That was a plot reason to that.
Yeah, there was a plot reason 12 episodes in, but the whole point is that they had a character suddenly appear that everyone was just like, "Hey, you've been here the whole time." That's the whole point.
That was the bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was I think that's a really that also I guess makes it a really on the nose commentary of the 80s writing style. It's a writing style, isn't it? Where
Yeah.
it's not about maintaining causal storyline.
Yeah, this has probably happened on a lot more shows that we just haven't watched.
Yeah, it's a generation thing, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's just the nature of live action shows as well, is that, you know, for everything that the Simpsons have gone through, that the voice actors could at least hide behind the voice, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't have
Yeah.
to see
Deadly
them
efforts,
age.
yeah.
And yeah, that just is a curse for a lot of shows, is that people start looking different or kids grow up.
Yeah, for real.
And
Bastards.
I mean, you can go a step further and say, how many fucking lassies have they gone through? You know, like 70-something.
it's like Beethoven's, man. The number is so fucking depressing. Milo's and Otis's combined. Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Let's think about that more.
Yeah, let's
Dead
think about
animals
more
in this
dead
episode.
puppies, you bastard.
Because this episode does end with a joke about a puppy dying.
Man,
Oh, fuck, now I'm sad.
we've been laughing so much in this podcast.
We never thought about the puppies. We've had a lot of laughs, but what we're really here to talk to you about, support your local foundation of guide dogs.
All right, so before I kick off one last classic questionnaire, let's toast to the
Classic.
gods of liquor. Let's toast to the dank
Yep.
memories at Castle Hill and other locations we recorded in K-Towns
Some
and
Lagavulin 8.
This is good old times.
all the many guest stars as I list them now, ranked by what I think of their sandwich. Cheers, guys.
Yes.
It's been good, guys.
So this is the Lagavulin Index. We're pivoting mid-podcast. It's like one of those backdoor pilots.
No, it's still TSI. It's just the Scotch Index.
It's warm,
It'll warm the cockles of your balls.
gentle, embracing, strong, and with a good breath of
Yes.
to it at the end.
That's
And
nothing
I really
peaks.
tried. The Game of Thrones scotches definitely don't exist at any bottle shop anymore.
Well, not even the Poochie scotches. Those were very limited edition.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump the questionnaire and
Go.
get mine in first. What stands out to me?
What stood
It's
out?
actually not something about this episode specifically. It's about
It's about a different episode.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Folks like to tell you a little story about
called
you,
Flanders
not
Ladder.
me.
Welcome back.
like this episode makes such a definitive statement that no one liked Poochie. Everyone was happy that he was gone. But then it sort of became a running joke of episodes after this that no, there was actually like a fandom around Poochie, and like people start maybe appreciating it like well after its time, and like
In universe.
yeah, in Simpsons universe they
It gets
just
the occasional reference, yeah.
yeah like or he's like been mentioned as he was like a special guest at an awards show or something like
Like
that.
a cult following sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like it never directly alluded to, but just that people weren't so down on him, and
Really?
like maybe it is just like because we shat on him so much, it's funny that anyone would have reference for him now, sort of. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they were very quick to. Sure, he gets a one-hit intro and he buffs it completely. But one episode and everyone's baying the hounds, murder him in episode 2, or I don't know. It seems very quick to. Who knows a character after a shitty intro? I guess
Can you think of any characters that have had the Poochie treatment in animation anyway?
Scrappy Doo.
Oh yeah, fully. Yeah, he's a total scrappy dude.
Yeah.
Bring some attitude.
Yeah, I love all that corporate buzzword and stuff. Like
That was what stood out to me, for better or worse, is all their
Thank you.
like
Segway. I'm not as good at it.
yeah. No, just the whole, especially when they're all standing around designing him, and he's like, can we rustify him by 10%?
Yes.
Yes.
He needs to be proactive. And,
Give me a schmearish surfer.
yeah,
Oh my
and even
God.
when, they're talking, it's like, whoa, so this dog's like proactive. Oh my, yes, he's completely in your face.
Yeah.
Then in the voice acting auditions, I don't know what you're in, but it's not my face.
Yes, that was so good. And then right at the end when he's like, I know Poochie's been proactive, and I'm sorry for that.
It's like, yeah, using these repeated phrases. And
Yeah.
It's like, it really embiggens a word,
With its
It really
cromulence.
synergizes.
Aren't these just corporate buzzwords that dumb people
Honestly,
use to make
smashes the KPIs out the park. I don't know why I didn't scan better with the target demo.
Yeah.
Danny, what
Yeah.
stands out to you for better or worse?
Oh, when they added the female Ninja Turtle.
Oh, Venus. Yeah, that was a weird move, and she had boobs.
I went back to those episodes. They are so racist.
Really?
Right. I only ever saw like one.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I was thinking about walk-on characters, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Like characters brought in to try and revive
Yeah.
a dying show that
Yeah.
just made it worse.
And yeah, on that as well, Roy just... The family not really caring about him, just like, yeah,
really.
hey, Roy. Like,
Hey, Roy.
Yeah, amplified that as well. It was
It's
great.
perfect. It really...
He gets the right number of bites, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just like he's there watching the thing. It's just, I'm so stoked for you, Mr. S. Put a sock in it, Roy.
Put a sock in it, Roy. Fuck off, Roy. Get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, he's not spinning off in the episode. He's just there to support the plot, but just not addressed or explained.
Yeah, not the slightest hint of B-plot.
And so clearly, yeah, the real world kind of Poochie character, like
Yep.
if you were doing the live action Simpsons.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Look, what stands out to me is an abstract. I'm going to hit you with this, but, you know, we've been fucking all over these questions today. So, you know, let's just roll with some punches. But, like, I've been thinking a bunch about how like, Homer gets this voice acting gig, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't write the part. He doesn't write the character. He's not invested. He's not exposing himself in this part at all. And yet he's so invested his own emotion, his heart into the character, you know, that like when people are upset with the character, they're upset with him. Yeah.
And I think even Marge tells him, you know, you haven't done anything wrong.
You had no control. Like all three of us are creative output kind of guys. We have you make your own thing, you put it out there, and if someone hates it, that is them hating you. I get that. And he's recording these lines and he's putting them out there like himself. There's creative output, and yet he doesn't choose what the fuck he's saying. He's not in charge of whether or not people like him or not is not up to him at all.
He's not the one that said Itchy and Scratchy and Poochie should not go to the fireworks factory.
No matter how good he acts the part, he has no control over whether they like him or not. That's a rough gig, dog. That's about all I said. That's about it. I mean, that's got to be the same for every actor. Every actor doesn't write the script. And
Yeah, but like that's why I love Homer in this episode, and like coincidentally, where he's playing Poochie, this is such golden retriever Homer.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He's
yes.
like, why doesn't everyone love this? Do I
Yeah.
like this?
Yes.
Well, like, because I don't think he has ever been seen to get Itchy and Scratchy anyway. Like,
I mean, he watches it.
yeah, like I don't think he even cared about cartoons. Like he was just, oh, I suppose the kids like it, so whatever. And yeah,
Yeah, let me do a bunch of stuff. Because it sort of does act as though he was in control somehow. It's like, looking at that first episode, it does seem as though he had creative control somehow. He's on the skateboard, he's on the guitar, he's doing the basketball, he's doing the thing. Shitty though they were, those writers didn't seem quite that absurdistly.
No, it's all writing by committee as well as design by committee. It's all,
of course.
He's got to be super cool and amazing, and it's not a grounded or balanced character.
All right, what super cool bullet points can we get? Okay, we'll hit all of those notes. We have 13 seconds.
Yeah, he's got to be a ninja Rastafarian surfer who also basketballs.
Nunchucks, basketballs, guitars,
And
surfs,
recycles
skates.
to the extreme.
But yeah, how like nothing about Roy is explained, just everything about Poochie is explained in that episode, and it's just they're constantly selling him to you. Like,
Yes, it's the urgency of it that really is off-putting. Although I slightly think, if he hadn't driven past the fireworks thing, people would have been a lot more forgiving. If he'd gone to the fireworks place,
gone to the fireworks factory.
people would have been a lot more forgiving.
Got to give the people what they want, and they want fireworks factory.
Yeah, dog.
And
You
the
can't
Speedo
just
Man.
Drop fireworks and fireworks and fireworks and Speedo Man, and then not
it's
give
Chekhov's
you.
firework.
And Chekhov was a Speedo Man. And I love him.
Turning that knob to the right, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Elliot, you look like you have something to say. Do you?
Yeah, sorry, I'll refrain from tasting the knob. Wackiness.
I don't believe I have notes of whack.
In the wackiness, we also like to talk about how they use the cartoony space. What better way to use the cartoony space than making your cartoon within your cartoon?
Yeah. Meep.
Yeah.
What do you mean meep meep?
Oh, you know what was wacky to me was them getting so fucking lazy that they moved the cell and you could see the line of the cell frame going up across the screen. Man, that's fucking wacky.
Yeah, I guess But that's also the heart. Okay, this is a wackiness heart thing.
Let's
So
go.
that ending where Homer does make that impassioned speech,
Yep.
and then they still like animate an episode around that,
Yep.
but also
They
get-
don't animate that
get Troy
part?
McClure in to do the filler line.
Oh man, and like it's him they're upset with, but they stop animating instead of stop voicing. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
they still have another line voiced by someone else,
Yeah.
but so they keep voicing and recording, but they stop animating instead. Wacky,
Whack.
damn it!
That's wacky. Yeah.
But in that same moment, like, I don't think I ever thought about it until this time, is just, were they all sort of knowing that they were going to do this and they were just kind of just
Yes.
doing this for Homer?
Yes.
No, I got the impression they like had a moment of, oh, that was really heartfelt, and no way, this is still not going to work.
Then it wears off. The feels wears off.
The feels wears off when there's money, baby.
You know,
there's even a line where someone goes, "This isn't art, this is business."
yeah, that was crusty.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've gotten cynical, but that was, the first time I'd thought about it that way. Like, I always took it to mean, we will do this. And then they just got into the editing room and was like, nah, fuck this.
No, that's how I take it as well. Like,
Yeah.
the impassioned speech works until you realize the bottom line is threatened.
Yeah.
See, I've always thought they just let him get it out of
There's
his
even a bit
system.
where
I'm
Roger
not even
might-
fucking recording this. I'm just like, my fingers over the big red flashy button to get you talking so you can get out of here.
There's even a bit where Roger Myers is like sitting there and kind of looks around the room and everyone else has
Starts clapping. If
And
I
then-
start clapping, he'll
But
leave
then
quicker.
he's got like a moment. He doesn't respond until he looks around the room, and everyone else has got this kind of moment of, "Oh yeah, we do deserve him a given." Then he's kind of like, "Yeah, okay, and cut, yeah."
Yeah.
You know, I took it as a genuine moment that later on this didn't pan, but it's open to interpretation, I guess.
I mean, this is a fictional show. We will never be
Within
able
a
to ask
fictional
them. Yeah.
We'll never know.
But yeah, also talking about wackiness, the cartoony space, the opening Itchy and Scratchy cartoon that kicks this whole thing off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
What is
fools
it?
fall in lava.
Yeah. Scratchy being dangled into a lava pit by his
Yeah.
intestines.
Oh, man, made me think
Pours
of
the gas down the
No,
intestines.
just,
Cell. Do you remember
Marge
the
coming-
Cell?
Oh yeah, I love the song. Even March is coming in and being like, "Oh, you don't like this show anymore?" And Lisa's just at the breakfast table, like reading a cereal box. She's like, "Yeah, but it's such a nice day out."
Yeah, none of them looking outside. None of them going.
I guess that's kind of a wacky thing about this episode is that
Oh, wait.
none more than ever, the kids are like a real fucking cipher for the writers' opinions in this one.
Yeah, and I have a few more moments of whack. Not like impossible whack, but Bart's like, "Oh, look, we love you and Dad. We don't have to see you every single day. So, well, if you love me so much, why don't you just hug me in my sleep?" She's like, Marge's like, I do.
I do.
And that when they're out, later on they're out in the mall with Marge and like, we just wander around and then immediately get approached by a strange man. He just goes,
yep.
"You kids want to come
Holy
with me?"
shit! Instantly, it's
Yeah,
so creepy.
Shady looking dude appearing
Yeah.
out of nowhere, mustache and like hunching over, and it's like,
Yes.
well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And a bit I want to make sure I get correct, so I looked it up on Freakiac of just the very simple of Homer warming up for the first Poochie episode. It's like, she smells sheet smells by the sheet store.
It's so bad.
Simple and funny.
Yeah. I like the little relationship that him and the other voice actor
Yeah, that
come
was
up
going to be
with.
my heart moment where she kind of takes him under her wing because she's like, "Oh, you'll relax, just do the bits." And,
Yeah.
then when they were at the androids dungeon being interviewed by the mega nerds who have the classic line of, "I sure hope someone got fired for that blunder."
Yeah.
Homer's like, "Shut up, geek."
Yeah, that was
and
good.
kind of protecting her from the mega nerds. And then later on, she stands up for him, where he's all like, "I want to do this impassioned speech." And then Russell Myers is like, "Fuck off." And she's like, "You can't do this
Can't
without
do it
me.
without me."
Solidarity, unionize."
Yeah, yeah. But then Russell Myers takes back his
Yeah.
Hammer
Roger
Time
Myers.
Mansion, and that's okay. It
Oscar
wasn't-
Minor.
Minor.
Yeah.
Oscar Minor.
Not
A
major.
flat minor. Ah, God.
Look, an Oscar Major wiener is very different.
Wow, that's so gross.
Yep. Yeah, if I was one of those, everyone would love me.
Hey-o. So, anyway, where are we at?
Ultimately, did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Yes, with just so much
Yeah.
winking and a nod in it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was tongue in cheek, but it was dang on it. It was so on it.
Yeah, well, I was going to say with, like, the kids, like, being a cipher for the writers here,
Yeah.
conduit,
Yeah.
and, like, Bart, like, was really talking through the writers when he was having his little
Yes.
argument with Comic Book
Yeah,
Guy.
I will say that's my one note against this is like, "Oh, they owe you. They've given you thousands of hours for free." It's like, no, it has advertising.
I paid for Disney Plus. I bought the DVDs. I bought the shirt. You know,
Yeah.
there's been
It's fucking merchandise.
And
The shit
there's
out
been
of
an
this.
exchange of currency.
And I think I've screamed it before. You know who gives you thousands of hours for free? We do. Thank you very much to our Patreon supporters.
Absolutely. Thank you for supporting us geniuses at work. But yeah, also full well knowing, yeah, I know, Jordan's anal corner, that is the xylophone bit. Yeah, that was fun.
You know, we act like this is all done for free and off the cuff, but really we have a team of writers that work round the clock, carefully scripting our podcast.
And then we just fuck up the lines so badly. Like,
No.
wow.
you know, I mean,
I said Oscar Minor
there's
Wiener. What
such
the fuck
little
was that?
time between script release and record. I mean, we do the best we can, but we're working with limited space here.
There's only so much room in this tape cassette, you know.
And anyway, it gives us a sort of a off the cuff, almost improvisational tone if we, you know, only loosely.
Yeah. And if we're really drunk.
I agree with that statement.
Heaven forbid.
Lagavulin, brought to you by
Manscaped.
Shave Your Balls.
We're not getting paid enough by them yet.
I'm not getting
What?
paid anything by them.
The thing is, I do actually have their products and I like them, but
Shave
like,
Your Balls on Squarespace, listening to Audible, and get stamps.com.
Shave your balls on Squarespace?
yeah, but yeah, characters feeling like themselves, like, yeah, this is great golden retriever Homer. Yeah, you know, the kids and the rest, then the Roy in the room.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's perfect. Like, there's a little bit of caricaturing to sort of drive the point home, but I'm so on board with it because they're still all clearly themselves, you know? And Homer is sweet and innocent and hurt.
Just
And-
earnest as well.
Yeah, and he's human, you know? We have all been Homer, man.
Yeah.
Everyone has been hurt by being the face of something they weren't really in control of, but it feels like they were there. You know,
they were stoked to be involved.
yeah. And then people didn't like it, and man, it's like they didn't like me. Ow.
Well, yeah, because I
Ow.
guess so much was built up in the hype to this thing that, yeah, Poochie stuff was everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
advertising Brillo pads and such.
I once, not to name names, but I was once the YouTube video spokesman for a brand that was doing like music reviews. Quite a few videos of me out there reviewing music whatnots and nonsense. And whether or not they are good is up to you. But the way it makes me feel to see myself up there, oh yeah, baby, oh man. But you can't erase the past, especially in this internet age. So little kids out there, hey, lessons.
Make sure you're going to be proud of everything you put out there forever. Otherwise, don't upload
Put
a thing.
nothing out there ever.
Especially over on our Patreon. We wouldn't put anything up there that isn't worth paying for.
Especially if you're little kids. Don't pay for that.
Little kids, sign up to our Patreon.
We're a family-friendly show.
Exactly.
You little cunts.
And so in return, we ask that the families be, friendly to us. And go get your parents' credit card and read it into
Best
patreon.com/sidequest
thing friends can do.
Yes or no, would you watch this one again?
Sure.
I would love to.
But if you were going to watch it again, maybe you'd want to watch it in a playlist. What playlist would this go in?
Well, the first and I'm hoping for an answer to come to me by the end of the sentence.
Good
Shit.
luck, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Look, just read your script. What does it say? The one where Abe Simpson writes the one.
True, the
That's
front.
right.
that would
yeah.
be good. Yes.
Yeah, so
And when
When Marge gets offended and takes up arms against
Marge
it.
versus Itchy and Scratchy, or
Yeah.
when Chester Lampwick shuts it down.
Chester Lampwick, yes.
yeah, or just Itchy and Scratchy land. Let's fucking
Yeah,
have an Itchy
why
and
not?
Scratchy day.
Why not?
Hells yeah. That
Yeah.
sounds fun.
Yeah, because it's weird, like episodes that are about Itchy and Scratchy, yeah. Not just ones where they appear in the show.
No, because that'd be too many. That's a long playlist.
Oh, yeah, that's ridiculous. Homer Hollywood sort of roles.
Yeah,
There's
like when
Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
racist ass Smelly Gibsons when he hangs out with him, yeah.
Homer Goes to Hollywood. What else do we have there? Surely there's more.
Surely there's
Radioactive
yeah,
Man.
or when he was
like,
in
I mean,
that-
that's Millhouse,
yeah.
but
When he was in that really shitty movie and he put stitched
Oh,
socks into his body to look like muscles,
Yes.
oh yeah, that's right.
which I hated.
Yes. Very
But don't
uncomfortable with
watch
that.
that.
A bit angry dad, like, yeah, Homer getting famous off that.
You know, I just watched the episode where he climbs the murder horn. It's just a good episode.
Random throw to fucking King of the Hill from season 9.
Also, I nearly said moiter horn. So.
The moiter horn.
That's fun.
Moiterhand.
Our riders are so
Moiterhand.
pissed.
It's not a mountain, it's a Moiterhorn.
This is what it sounds like when our riders are on strike.
What's Moiterhand's first name?
Bobby?
Thank you. I feel much better now.
Well, I mean, with Behind the Laughter, I mean, we've done it tonight. It's like meta commentary episodes.
It really fits. All three of these really do fit together. I mean, whether or not that was on purpose remains to be seen. But, you know, if you're out there looking for things that go together, hey.
I'd wondered if Flanders' ladder would fit in. And I think just as a way of, like, demonstrating a failed attempt at doing, like, nostalgia throwbacks and building an episode that acknowledges the deep history of the show. Yeah, like... Especially in retro, can we fail it more? Like,
we only.
I already threw it in a pit of fire and pissed on its ashes, Elliot. I don't know what more you could possibly want from me. I'm out of piss.
But what would you like to change about this one?
I'd have more piss. No, it is definitely front loaded with more fun and jokes. I'm not gonna say, I don't know what to fix about that. There's nothing I dislike as it goes on. But a lot of my notes and a lot of the laughs I got was from the first third.
Well, I mean, that's often the case. Like, but yeah.
Yeah. Not to the point where I thought, there was a problem. It was just, it was better at the beginning. Jasper's blind. That's depressing.
Legally blind.
Found out recently he used to be a priest as well.
Oh, yeah. We'll find out lots about him.
Oh, wait. That was in a deleted scene.
Yes. Which, I mean, you can hear us review that on
Oh,
patreon.com/SideQuest Studios.
Shag, what would you like to change about this one?
Sellout nonsense.
Yes, no, wait, yes.
Those are all your options. Which would you like to choose?
Motherfucker. Fucking Nick Fury recruited Poochie in a post-credits fucking sequence, motherfuckers.
They faked his death on the way back to his home planet so he could join the Avengers. Wow.
It's exactly what this show from the 1990s needed.
Boom, mic drop, I'm out, motherfuckers.
No, you've done it. You're right. Because one of Homer's suggestions was that Poochie should have access to a time machine.
Oh my God.
We're through the looking glass here, people.
If only they had the cojones to follow Homer in his vision for Poochie.
The Jonas.
Why did they just leave his suggestions on the floor? Why did they not pick them up?
What about you, Elliot? You got any ideas for change?
Nah.
Damn, he's good.
He's got me. He got me.
This is why he's the leader.
Yeah.
And I'm good, and I'm great. Thank you for send rendering your will as of this date. Yeah, I said send rendering. Yeah, look, I do wonder if, like, because, some of those, like, writers, like, clearly writing through the characters' lines, like,
definitely.
aren't those just cheap buzzwords that dumb people use? I'm fired, aren't I? Like, I do wonder if they just pulled back on that, like, 20% or something, like, as much as they rustified Poochie. Like, I do wonder, but...
I don't mind, because it was just so swiftly done in most parts. Like, when they're all drawing by committee...
Yeah.
They don't really grind to a halt and do it. It's all just everyone just yelling at this one drawer who's like, and it's like, well, let's get more attitude
about the writing process.
Yeah,
that's like the most earnestness this episode has.
It's like, come up with someone like Poochie, but more attitude. So everyone okay with Poochie?
Yeah, whatever. Like, I bet every writer there has been at some point fired for having that idea and be forced to, like, rastify by 5%, you know?
No, absolutely. And look, I think at this point the Simpsons get away with it. It's just one of these things. I don't know how much this episode works in a bubble, but, like... Yeah.
Because that's the thing. If they introduce a new character now to come live with the Simpsons,
Oh
I'd be like, you know what? Fine. Cool. Let's do it.
Why not? Why not? Hey, have a swing, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Roy comes back.
Exactly.
Yes.
Where's he been for the last 20 years? Has he aged? I don't know.
Well, my mum was really... I was having a chat with my mum the other day, and she was like, why haven't they just aged them? You know, it's been 30-whatever years. Why don't they just, like, make them a year older and, like, try doing that
then
for
you
a
get
while?
Rugrats all grown up, which
How
was
come
okay.
Apu's kid aged and Bart didn't age? Bart was like 10 years older than that kid, and then suddenly...
He left the time bubble.
Yeah, that's
And he came back.
that's the ongoing theory.
Fuck a dude, guys.
Springfield time bubble.
Like,
But that's the thing.
Same with Sideshow Bob's kid.
Yeah. Anyway, we're talking about like live action shows before and how they just kind of have to age characters. They don't really have a choice. Yeah, The Simpsons has the inverse problem where, no, the characters stay the same, but culture changes around them.
Yes.
Like, Real Jim's did a really good video on this recently about, basically the Springfield like time bubble and how like, now Homer was in a grunge band and he also liked Naughty by Nature when he was a teenager, and they also listened to fucking You Light Up My Life. You know, that Simpsons has now established itself as one that like changes with the culture, but doesn't age its characters, and it's a really fucking weird thing that it's found itself in.
Yes, it is static and changing at the same time.
Yeah.
And that
The more it stays the change. The
does
more
not work the harder you look at it.
The more it stays the same, the more it changes.
But and it's told through Lisa, and I think this is probably the key line that was like, this has to be the last episode, where Lisa was like, there's nothing wrong with the characters, it's just that after so many years, they just can't have the impact that they once had.
That was really what do they call that? The resonant line of the episode?
Really poignant.
The most honest part of the writers speaking through the show.
Of the whole episode. That was
as if
the
to
one
say,
line.
what do you want?
Yeah.
And speaking to the network at that point, it's like, people still love us, but how can we possibly keep delivering? And this was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Wait, 23.
But it's time for our final notes for the final classic final. Yay.
Oh, man.
And now
Memories.
it's time. And now it's time. And now it's time. And now it's time.
Final notes, final notes, final notes, final.
Yeah, you get the idea.
What are all our final notes? What are all our final
Now
notes?
it's time. And now it's time. And now it's time.
Ding, 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 ding. BT?
I mean, always. Oh, yeah, the bit where Russell Myers is talking to Krusty about...
Roger.
Whatever. Roger Myers is talking to Krusty, about, like, the ratings.
It's actually
like
Herschel Krostowski.
Yeah, and he shows, like, the dive in the ratings when the show comes on. It's like, the lightning hit the transmitter. See, that's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
Hey, wait a second. It's like, and then when he's like, can't be Itchy and Scratchy. We're critically acclaimed. Acclaimed! And just, like, almost resting on the laurels there. Or being like...
Critics?
Who cares if you're good? You're not making us moolah.
It's pretty funny that he made reference to a transmitter getting hit by lightning in this. There are connections.
Let's see. Just the whole pitch of like, we need a new character kids can relate to. He needs to be proactive and outrageous paradigm. And like, it's such good language and just the nonsense of it all. Yeah, again, there's a great little headline, which is "Funny dog to make life worth living."
Top tier newspaper gag, Simpsons.
No
done.
pressure on Homer there.
Yep.
Make life worth living.
Oh, yeah, and when they launch, they're like, there are some events that become part of our cultural zeitgeist. Man walks on the moon. Man walks on the moon. Again. And then nothing happened for a long time. But now there's a new TV character. We've already said it, but Milhouse is just crying, when are they going to get to the fireworks factory? Is very memeable.
Oh, there are so many memes throughout this episode. Like, died on the way back to his home planet. Fucking the guy doing the thumbs up in a mirror is such a shorthand for fucking the corporations watching.
Yeah.
It's like, did that mirror just sneeze? No, there's no one there, but it might sneeze, cough, or occasionally sound like it's talking quietly.
Yeah.
Just when Homer's like, what do you guys think? And they're like, Mom, can we go to bed without dinner? Yes, we can. 3 doors slam, and very simple.
Impy and Scrimpy.
Yeah. And finally, just Homer's final line of like, and I forgot to ask for any money.
Yeah. Just such a like unnecessary fuck you at the end. Like, I love that. Like,
oh God.
But Elliot, do you have any final classic notes?
Hey, Beach, how many of these podcasts have we done and forgotten to ask for any money? Shit.
I forgot I am the writing team. I'm not getting paid.
Yeah, you write as you go as well. That's amazing.
It's a massive strain on the wrist.
Oh, that line. That's what stands out to me. But have we not mentioned that?
Yeah, there are a lot of memeable moments in this one.
Yeah. One that I forgot, this was the line, was when Roger Myers walks out of Krusty's office, slams the door, and Mel's just there with a cup. You're next. I'm soliciting donations for the Rock and Roll Museum.
I'll come back.
I'll come back later.
That is a pitch perfect line. That's exactly the kind of
my
shit he
God.
should be trying to solicit donations for.
Oh my God. It's so human.
We won in the dog from hell. Cerberus.
Yeah, there's that clash of people who have studied any kind of storytelling versus, corporate think.
But yeah, it's pretty common knowledge. But yeah, all the writers are based on the actual writers, and the guy drawing the Poochie is David Silverman, and you can tell from his monobrow and tuba in the background.
From his monobrow, his famous monobrow.
His famous tuba.
His famous tuba.
He's never seen without it. Can't even picture him without
Monobrow
it.
and tuba. Oh, I know. He's that guy. The monobrow tuba guy.
Yeah, at Tubatron on most social media platforms. What were you guys smoking when you came up with that? We're eating rotisserie chicken. Now do the line.
I'd forgotten the rotisserie chicken follow-up, yeah.
Oh, and look, so fitting for our final classic episode. Yeah, we get a Phil Hartman in here. That's nice.
that is.
Bless
A
him.
very brief Troy McClure, but I like that they got him in to punch in the "My planet needs me" line at the end. That's so clearly Phil
Even
Hartman.
just him
Yeah.
going, Wolf, Wolf, I'm Poochie, the dog.
Yeah.
What were the movies? Christmas Ape and then Christmas Ape 2 goes to summer camp. Bless you, Phil. Boo-hoo, I don't get the job. Who's ever gotten a job with sarcasm?
Very few, but I'm sure someone.
I'm sure.
And no cutting in line. I'm talking to you, Mr. Cutter. I don't know. That line sticks with me.
Yeah.
So the character of Roy was actually previously pitched for Time and Punishment, because they did have this network note of introducing a character like a bit earlier, and they were going to fit it in a joke of that Halloween segment where Homer and the time toaster and one of the alternate realities was there's a Roy that lives with the Simpsons.
Okay.
And he's just always been there. Yeah, way better here, because that
Testing the
fits a little
waters.
too easily into Time and Punishment. Whereas here, him sticking out is hilarious.
No, it's just amazing they were able to use him again. It's just like they didn't give up on Roy.
Nope.
They knew they'd find something for him.
Especially when he moves into a new apartment with two sexy ladies.
And Marge is only on one to say, yeah, we'll miss you, Roy. And then just Simpsons move on with
I
their
mean, by the late 90s, there had been 20 years of shitty sitcoms attempting to like breathe life into their dying show by jumping over a shark or some shit.
Introducing Cousin Oliver.
Yeah, and for the writers to sort of recognize that and point the finger at it before the execs manage to claw that sort of shit into their show is them staying ahead of the curve. You know, there's a boulder rolling at you. It's the execs wanting you to put a Roy in the show. Quick, let's make Roy a joke before it happens for realsies.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of, jumping the shark as well, like, I still love that you can tell that this is written by people who haven't got their finger on the pulse of the culture, because, Poochie in his, rap, he does a rap, he does compare himself to the Fonz.
Yeah.
And it shows, this is so...
Fonzarelli.
Then he does a guitar solo.
Oh, man.
So
rad.
Man. So rad.
Oh, those writers, they make me madder than a yak in heat.
That was great.
Right when it's the old, these animators can't do shit, and then the razor comes in kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's just falling flat enough to still be funny.
Yeah. And there's a moment of her just looking desperately for an idea. Someone quick, pay a writer.
But I love the script writing here, that especially with Homer's script, how it's so bad at the start and just has you have something to say.
Do
you?
And he goes, I certainly do. And then addresses Itchy again. Goes, hello there, Itchy.
Hello there, Itchy.
But I'm really talking to the audience.
He fucking lands it, and if we say to Simpsons, first act fuck yous, whatever, but fucking stick the landing. And Homer really did in that moment. And I think that's all my notes. Yeah, it is time to rank this thing.
Shit.
Wow.
Anyone want to go first?
I don't know how.
Yeah,
I don't know how I'm going to go. How about you? It's the last one, man. Last one ever. It's your last chance.
Yeah, I went last time. I might go second this time.
Silver.
Silver?
Oh.
I mean, I'm throwing a thing out there. See what you all do with it. Clearly, by your reaction, you want to give it higher than that.
Participant.
Doesn't that help you, Elliot?
This is a Mountain of Madness moment where I'm like, did we just watch and talk about the same episode?
I am.
Or when Phil gave Homie the Clown of Gold, or when Michael Pictionary gave...
Look, I mean, that's where I'm at the moment. It's a tough one because it is, again, very reflective of everything that's gone before, and it's hard to take as a piece on its own. I guess I just didn't feel too much heart, but then so much of this is iconic and very quotable. But hey, I got you thinking about ranks, didn't I? Yeah, you fucking bastards.
Oh, I knew. I knew what I was doing. I just wanted to throw the floor open first.
You monster.
But true to my word, yeah, second, cubic. Fucking, this is obviously a cubic. This is just such a part of the Simpsons experience. Yeah, I know in a bubble it might not work, but like, if we're talking the journey of the Simpsons, yeah, fucking absolutely a cubic.
No pressure.
And it's also a fucking excellent episode. Nah, fucking...
He just pen dropped everybody, but dropped it into his book so he wouldn't have to get on the
And
floor.
then they both turned to look at me.
I still got to write down Shag's score.
Yeah, it's true. He still needs that
And
pen.
maybe rewrite BT's, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, man. It's tough.
I have to vote this episode Cubic Zirconia now. My planet needs me.
I'm gonna rank this gold and just be between the two of you. Oh, really? That's interesting, Chick. Yeah, I think that's probably best for everybody.
You know what?
No, I don't. What should I know? Yeah.
Ought to know.
I think I'm going to vote silver as well.
Really?
Wow.
Why?
Yeah. I
Like
know.
I'm not sure on silver. Because silver is where I put stuff like
This is
Simple
literally
Simpson.
Mountain of Madness all over again.
I know.
It's really
I know.
strange. I don't know. But you got to go with your guts, man. That's how this has always worked. It's always been about the guts.
Yeah, it's always about the hot guts.
So, like,
A point I come back to is I did enjoy Behind the Laughter a lot more.
Mm.
Behind the Laughter was incredible. I had so much fun. And this was good. This is fun and funny, and I enjoyed it, and it's so true, and it's about the writer's struggle and the Hollywood processes and blah 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 blah. But some episodes are really funny and witty and sharp. Some episodes are really poignant and powerful and emotive. Some episodes are really crucial in some way or other. And yeah, this is good.
All right, didn't expect that. What a plot twist.
Yeah.
Bam, in your face. What about you, Beach?
Gold.
Justify.
No, silver. I don't even know.
Justify.
I think part of the problem is we just watch an episode with the same concept.
it
that
might be
surpassed
that. It might be that.
As
'Cause
in, if we
it
watch
is the same fundamental idea.
yeah, if we watch this one and then Behind the Laughter, I feels like because we did one than the other. I
I
feel like
think we got more lols in Behind the Laughter, sure, but
Yeah.
like, man, something has to be said for the kind of how droll sort of humor of this one, where it's like, yeah, there's a bit of joke that's in the meta. So I don't know, maybe is that
like,
it? That
the
it's a bit
episode's not
pretentious.
wrong,
maybe this one.
but he's
maybe,
right. We did just watch a way better version of the same idea.
I might say
Yeah.
that maybe that's the clinch for me. Is this one feels like a little bit more not pretentious, but the wrong kind of self-aware. It's leaning a little bit more towards speaking through the episode rather than laughing at the episode with you.
Part of the problem. Part of the problem.
It's tough to it's
not
tough
to not to like talk over you.
Oh, please do.
But you just said, and it made me think. With this episode, they're like, "Hey, guess what? Writers don't have as much control as you think. Shows are shit just because." And really, that's an indictment of every other Simpsons episode. Whereas the other episode was like, it's a struggle. We try the best we can. This is that, and this is that, and there's 35 different things that go wrong, and we're surviving despite all this. Whereas this one's just like, you know what? Shows might end up shit. Our show might actually be shit. Lol. Nothing we can do about it because we're getting under pressure from the execs, you know? It's less like telling us that there's reasons we can still enjoy their show, you know?
Yeah, it's almost got an air of you probably should have stopped watching by now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's more. More. Who would have thought we would go on this long at this stage?
Yeah, it's.
I
tough
think
call.
now these days episodes are begging you not to watch the show anymore.
kind of.
I feel like this one's like, fuck. We're past the Flintstones? That's unprecedented.
That's ridiculous. We've got like a day left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, man, gold feels as real to me as a silver. That's the problem. Like, neither one feels like the right answer.
Well, you know what you got to do. You got to say
Yeah,
them out
that's
loud.
right. I'm going to classic. I give this a gold. I give this a silver. Yeah, they land about the same place.
They do, yeah. They both felt balanced.
Good lord. Where's Jordan?
Poochie. We're thinking about Poochie here. You got to visualize Poochie.
God, there's so many classic
This
lines.
isn't
there.
about Itchy or Scratchy. This is about Poochie. I give Poochie a gold.
I give Poochie a failure, but
That's the point.
he dies back. I gave him a dies on the way back to his home planet.
So good.
It's so complicated. This one's complex. Watch it at home, everybody, and then you tell us. If Twitter didn't charge for polls anymore, we'd have one up.
Oh, no, they reversed that.
Oh, good, you fuckwits. It is so memeable and quotable. That is the only thing pushing me to a
It's
gold.
true. You're not wrong.
Icons are important. Gold. Silver.
It's silver.
Okay.
Man, it's tough. It's surprisingly
2
hard.
S's and a Q.
I might need to watch this later and come back to it.
All right, well, yeah. Here I'm going to put in a break just in case we do the fucking Colin Jordan at 3 a.m.
We've not done that for so long.
We're going to call Jordan. He didn't even watch the episode. We should call Jordan.
That's it. I started up a tradition back in episode 111, I think it was, and we still haven't used that, so maybe it'd be nice. So just in case, no pressure, but putting in a break here.
You mean in case you want to change to silver?
No, I mean, someone needs to go higher than silver. This can't be a solid silver overall. It needs better than that. But it does need to be a split decision somewhere.
Yeah. I don't think a consensus should be reached.
Yeah, I
It's
think.
the same as in any writer's room.
Which is why I'm going bronze.
Hey!
No, you're not.
I'm fucking with you.
I won't allow it. I'll do my one, your ranking doesn't count card.
Oh, wow.
Everybody
All
gets
these
one.
years, you finally pulled that card.
He's been holding that card for a
I'm
long
going to
time.
undo your Mountain of Madness one.
Whoa!
But yeah, until then, if that changes, we're banking these at the moment. This ain't coming out for a month. If you want to reevaluate, you
It's
have time
tough.
to do
I kind of
so.
want to be perfectly honest. I want to watch this one again and see what I feel.
But until then, this will equal a dull gold when you average out a cubic silver, like Mountain of Madness, the episode that we just alluded to a lot. And
And it was a QSS?
Yeah,
Oh my god!
but it also, the other episode from season 8 to get a dull gold is the Springfield Files, which got 3 golds and a silver. The Mulder, Scully, and
Yeah.
Homer. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was I the silver?
I don't remember.
I mean, it was probably me, but it doesn't feel like it would have been.
I
so,
think
yeah.
it might be Jordan.
Ah.
I need to go to the
That's
detailed
scam.
spreadsheet on the simpsonsindex.com. Okay, season 8.
Can we order sandwiches off the sandwich index?
Oh, I wish. A fucking Dan burger sounds great right now. Oh, it was Jordan,
It was Jordan. I
who
know-
we will call, maybe.
we
in a
will.
month.
I know you're listening to this, Jordan. I know you can hear me, Jordan.
Well, until then, yeah, that's the end of the Simpsons Index 3 format review format.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Was the format of the show for the majority of the original run.
You know what is kind of cool,
Wild.
though? We get to go 3 format, 2 format, 1 format.
Laundromat.
And then finally we're free.
Just do the laundry playlist.
All right, I've got to go pee. Elliot, sign us out.
Oh, but we still got to have space for you to plug your shit.
Yeah.
Hold on, we'll plug our shit while you unplug your shit. And then you come back and plug your shit.
We're going to have to plug our shit real slow.
We normally do. Yeah, so look, I mean, I'll just take another sec as well to say thank you for everyone for
Yes.
supporting us. Like,
Thank you so much.
it's been an interesting journey going from the 3 episode to the 1 episode format, like, because I don't know, I almost couldn't believe I used to fucking do that much podcasting each week, but I guess now I've replaced it by a bunch of other podcasts as well that we'll talk about soon. But
Yes.
yeah, because it's the other thing that's weird is because, like, when we first started the Simpsons Index, like, 2-hour podcasts weren't that unusual. And it's sort of over the shift of that where podcasts, like, the preferred time is like 40 to an hour, that, like, yeah, this fortunately evolution of our having to cut down to 1 simply
Damn,
because
he
we
pisses fast.
really did. I didn't even get through my thank you.
I know.
And it was so long-winded too. Anyway, Yeah, hope you stick with us through the new era. We might revisit some old episodes.
Definitely curious, yeah.
Like, I think I want to redo Dark Knight Court because I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about that one. I think it's better than I'd said. But, I mean, we'll talk about those things in the future. But
I've heard about a few controversial episodes too.
Huh?
Well, you know, the ones that were divided.
Well, for those ones, we might call Jordan in the morning. But until then, Danny, where online can people call you?
Call me.
Yeah.
Well, look,
like your mobile number, 04...
Whoa, slow down.
6.
Another 6.
We're getting a little too close to Rome, guys. I'm currently a quite banging mashup DJ. You can search me at Danny Macabre, or as I prefer to say, Danny Macabre. I've been saying it wrong like again and again and again, and no one's called me up on it. And I'm worried they think that, you know, they think that's just how you say it, and that I don't know better maybe, and they don't want to. Oh no. Oh no, I'm too deep. I've dived too deep.
You've fallen for your own meta bit.
Yeah. Anyway, it's actually pretty fucking banger. Danny, Macabre. TikTok, YouTube. Yep. TikTok's better. It's got like 77 videos at the moment, whereas YouTube, I'm still uploading some of my back end.
Yeah, but if your toes are too stationary and you would like to have them tapping, check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, there is also at least one and short. I should get the other one up.
If your ass would like to shake,
there is a Simpsons Index mashup.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking banger. And I've got a better one that I haven't uploaded the first one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll bring that up soon. I've just got to... Man, the first one took so long to put a film clip together because I can't use film clip of us. We have no video. We're an audio medium.
Yep.
The pictures of us online are very few at best.
There's only so much footage of Simpsons dancing that I could like splice together to get enough footage for that. Yeah.
Did a good mashup of like the McElroys set to music as well.
Oh, you like that one?
Yeah. But yeah, mostly, you're mashing up songs that had...
Normally wouldn't
Since the old days, I've sort of strayed away from like... I think I'm trying to stretch away from comedy format. Like I was doing the podcast, I was doing a bunch of like punchline-y based sort of stuff.
Still love the remix you did with We're Just Normal Men, though.
I knew it. That's just what I was thinking. We're just a man.
I do love it.
Or like Leonard from Community saying, "What it is, soul brother." That was great. But at the moment, it's more about like songs that are really cool, I guess, or have what I think is really strong performances, but are sort of considered dorky to listen to. Like,
yeah, and you're mashing like Opeth with fucking who was it? Was it Carly Rae Jepsen?
Was that Tears for Fears? It might have been. No, that was Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
that's right.
But the whole point is that Taylor Swift or Carly Rae Jepsen or Opeth can all have fucking bangers. It's just reminding us that, you know?
Yeah.
Also, having a bit of a fucking banger time while we're there.
So yeah, go get your banger on over at Danny Macabre on TikTok. Links into the description.
Yeah. You're allowed to say Danny Macabre. It's okay. It's okay.
That's how it looks.
Macabre.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on one side of Canada, it's Macabre. On the other side, it's Macabre.
He's huge in Canada.
Oh, shit.
And a genius in France.
Genius in France. So the other thing I've been up to lately is I've been reviewing AEW, that's All Elite Wrestling, with Dando from Four Finger Discount. 2 Simpsons podcasters walked into a ring and came out wrestling podcasters.
I heard you had a great soundtrack to that.
Oh, you knew why I was going to segue from that thing to this thing. Oh, you caught me out.
But AEW, didn't they recently break records in the UK for the biggest wrestling show ever?
It turns out that they lied.
Well, fuck, Elliot. I was trying to plug your shit.
No, it's like because they did sell 81,000 tickets, but then like the turnstile like numbers was actually like 9,000 lower, and that sort of counts for like tickets the company bought and gave out to people. And also there was a massive rail strike in London at that time, which like people speculated that it'd affect. But yeah, it's so funny because one of the wrestlers who was like so excited about performing in front of the biggest paid attendance wrestling crowd in history, he got like the compass, like the locations tattooed on his arm and the number of fans in attendance.
Oh no!
And then like posted a video the next day. It's like, man, I just see this fucking news that wasn't the actual number. My mum fucking hates tattoos. Do you know how much shit I cop for fucking hell?
Shit, he's German, is he?
72,000 people is still a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, it's the sixth biggest.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Why are you getting the total number of tickets sold on your arm? And what the fuck has that got to do with anything?
Yeah, verify your shit first, guy. We should probably be on this podcast and just bring a layman's perspective, because I don't know what you're talking
easy
about.
problem to fix.
Might
you
have
know?
you on as guests. Like, I'd be genuinely interested for you guys to watch like the wrestling show and then come on the podcast and see how you decipher it.
Is it called The Wrestling Show?
No,
Really?
it's called G'day EW.
Oh, no, I did know that
Are
part.
you merging the words A from G'day and the letter A from AEW?
I sure am,
Because
BT.
it confused me, so I'm just being clear for the audience out there.
G'day, y'all. G'day, you.
It looks like G'day
Ew.
Ew. Yeah.
Yeah, to look at it, g'day, you.
But BT, what if they want to hear me and you?
Oh my, they can go to patreon.com/SideQuestStudios, which covers everything we do here
It's
at
true,
SideQuest
these bad
Studios.
boys just don't shut
except for G'day EW. But then you get access to over like 120 exclusive podcasts.
Shit,
Maybe
really?
more.
Maybe
Really?
more. There are so fucking many, and it's ridiculous. And for like $5 a month, you can get access to everything, including, except when he's not, the show that catches me up on all the episodes I missed. So if you're like, well, Elliot and Shag had some good points here, but what did BT think? You can find out. And you can also check out our latest show starring Springfield, where we review movies starring the cast of The Simpsons, but as you've never seen them before, as actors.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of your Patreon perks is you get to suggest the movies that we review. As long as they star a Simpsons person, they're good
Frequent
with
contributor, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Have you done Night at the Museum?
No.
us. Who's in that?
Isn't Homer the Egyptian guy?
Probably.
Yeah.
You
You know what? Subscribe at patreon.com/SideQuestStudios. Find out and put it in the suggestions. We will watch that.
Yeah, we've had some really great movies like Godzilla 98,
Sick. Yes.
Maximum Overdrive,
Oh, yes.
Spinal Tap, which is currently ranked as our
So
favorite.
good.
Wait, who's in Spinal Tap?
Harry Shearer. He's
Of
Derek
course. He's one of
Smalls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Super Mario Brothers, the movie, Dan Cast is in that.
For about 20 seconds.
Is he?
Yeah.
He does the voiceover at the beginning.
And you know what?
Wow.
Small Soldiers as well. That was a fun one for me. I
was-
enjoyed that movie.
I
It's-
remember that.
It's fucking weird, but I did enjoy that movie.
A real interesting slice of, the world at the time.
And Phil Hartman's last filmed appearance.
Oh.
Yeah. Bring the podcast down right at the end. Why
Yep,
not?
lovely.
Oh, my gosh.
People love that. Oh, wow. They've just plugged me a bunch of thit and brought the mood down.
Yeah.
Great. Patreon.com/SideQuestStudios. But until then, thank you very much, everybody out there.
Thank you.
And thank you, Danny.
I'm Danny Rosewell. Danny Rosewell.
Thank you, BT.
This is Goodbye from Rory B. Bellows.
Hey, throwback to the first app.
Yep.
And thank you, Elliot.
Ah, thank you.
It's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
Yep, sorry if I ever called you smelly.
Or
I
peanut
think
butter
tonight was
jelly.
like literally the first time. I heard that. And I'm Elliot Jay O'Neill. That's all the mustard in the house.
He's also not tapping out. Thank you for listening to the Simpsons Index podcast, which is also an online spreadsheet available at thesimpsonsindex.com. You can also check out our other shows, like Pulp Fury Radio, our scripted fiction podcast, which tells all original stories across a range of pulp genres, and Thrones of Game, where we review Game of Thrones in reverse order. Links to those podcasts and more will be available in the show notes. And now please stay tuned for the bonus scenes!
But for now.
And we're back. If only we had mustard. But no.
But they did not have mustard. What they had instead was 3 fools and some notebooks.
Notebooks of notes.
But were these notes noteworthy? No, they weren't.
Were they written by pens of bad opinions?
With ink of ignorance.
The woodpeckers of mistrust were pecking on them. I lean away from the mic to breathe.
Mm-hmm. I lean towards the mic to breathe.
I know, I edit you.
Someone's got her.
Yeah, this episode was just terrible.
Someone would be the opposite of chocolate rain, and it was vanilla precipitation.
Precipitation is still rain.
I meant to say evaporation.
Yeah, that makes
vanilla
sense.
evaporation, which honestly is not the worst rap name I've ever heard.
It's pretty good. It is a little whitey.
Oh, no shit.
Well, what's the opposite of Taze on Day, man? Like,
Yad knows that.
that's also a very white sounding name for some reason.
Nazozat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just check your time in the middle of a podcast?
Yep.
Excuse me.
I've just realized my watch is out of sync.
Oh, shit. My MB.
Gotta get some more sync.
Yeah. Check under the fucking...
Sync.
Damn it, I walked into that.
You really did. Homonyms, everybody.
Ah, God.
You know, everyone says you should pivot into fucking video content. Maybe that's it. The Simpsons Index will try to solve that fucking thing.
Oh, good lord. Live on stream. Why don't we just add a new character?
We've had one the whole time, man. He's just been very quiet.
And he's invisible. So
Yeah, but it's an audio medium, so who cares? They don't know.
the invisible podcast.
We're all fucking invisible to the audience, man.
Yeah, one of us has been dead the entire time.
Oh, shit.
It was you listening.
Whoa!
Plot twist. Oh.
Shyamalan over here.
Yeah.
What you got there, Paige? Looks
Sorry,
like you got something there.
no, I searched Cousin Oliver because I'm pretty sure that was from the Brady Bunch,
porn.
and he
Yeah.
is. It just had because it's Pinterest, and Pinterest can fuck off. It was just worst examples of Cousin Oliver syndrome in TV sitcom history. So I clicked on that, and it's just a bunch of images with no explanation of who the fuck these people are.
It's a bad story, Beach.
Yeah,
We'll cut that from
you
in
fucking
post.
asked. How did Judge Judy have a Cousin Oliver? There's no people in that.
Dude, a lot of people have a Cousin Oliver.
I think she had to replace the security guard because it turned out he was an asshole.
Yeah, that's different. That's not bringing a new character in.
a real small white child to be a new security.
Bailiff? Yes, sir.
Restrain him. Will do.
You got it, Judge.
little butler, that's you. You people have too much money.
I didn't even have a catchphrase in the
Episode
final
one signs
episode.
off. Yeah, I know, it's weird.
Yeah, I just like
You know we're
stumbled
still
my way to the
recording,
end.
right?
Yeah, I just realized as well, maybe something for the bonus scenes. Was there anything that you guys gleaned from the episode 1 of the podcast that's like...
I do remember stealing Shag's bit of like introducing myself as a character for like the next 20
Oh, yeah,
episodes.
that was good, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm mildly sorry, but also you didn't carry it, so I did.
I'm mildly sorry.
I'm always mildly sorry.
Mm.
I had forgotten about the hashtags.
Well, I was so stupid then, because that was just me...
Don't be hard on yourself, man. We're learning.
Well, like,
Yeah,
that was
it was a
me
pilot.
essentially asking the playlist question, but like
Yeah.
I was phrasing it in a really dumb, trendy way. Like,
You were throwing something out there. That's the
Yeah.
way you learn.
You trying something, man.
but I don't know. It's like sort of things when you do them for a long time and like over a couple of years, you just figure out, oh yeah, there was a way better way to do that, and that feels so obvious now.
Yeah. And same with play count. That kind of petered off eventually.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't relevant for like
Half
half
of
the
them.
episodes. Yeah.
And no one has any idea how many times, and it doesn't really make a difference.
Which is
Not
annoying because I did
really.
watch a bunch of like at the time newer episodes on the assumption
Yeah.
that sooner or later
Yeah,
you'd
with
ask,
the new seasons,
and I'd
it's
be
a-
one
it's a
ahead of
thing.
you. And,
Oh,
it never,
you
yeah.
prick!
Yeah, it never came up.
But now the truth is out.
Yeah, on this exclusive expose on Behind the Microphone.
A segment we're introducing 250 episodes in.
Why not? Fuck it. We should review the questionnaire every like 50.
Well, no, this is. I mean, yeah, this is episode 250 of the fucking Simpsons Index, but this is episode 1 behind the mic.
Yeah.
Backdoor pilot.
But the cracks began to show, like the cracks in the concrete of the metaphor.
Made by the jackhammers of doubt and mistrust.
But it was weird, like, hearing us, like, genuinely sound younger. Like,
yeah.
I was surprised. Like, I was
Yikes.
like, did I put a weird
Yeah.
filter on this?
I
Like,
could
our
hear
voices
me
have
having
changed.
more hair.
Shit, dog. We're talking about entropy here. Oh, that's depression.
But no, like, my voice sounded higher than it does now. And, like, I'm pretty aware of what my voice sounds like from the fucking countless hours of editing. Like,
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I keep saying you've heard more of my voice than my own family.
And yet, once upon a time, we were so young and full of innocence that we've barely seen The Simpsons at all, isn't it?
I just want to play. We want to just watch this show with you.
Oh,
Elliot.
no, isn't that right?
Jolly good
Jeez,
stuff.
dog. Oh, what? Isn't it
We
just...
used to be so British.
It's just the best being a British podcast about The Simpsons Index, isn't it? What?
but what about them hashtags?
Oh, no! Fucking who gives a shit about the hashtags? We drop them like
Look,
ain't no
we-
business.
we
Follow us on
would've-
Twitter at Simpsons Index.
We would have kept it if it was called "What About Them" hashtags.
Yes, fucking right. What about them?
What about them hashtags? Eh? What? Hello,
Oh,
hello.
shit.
What are these hashtags?
Man, and I can't believe the episode reviews used to go for like 20 minutes, if that. Like,
Oh, dude.
blitz through them.
Man, I could blink through 20 minutes. It's barely getting started.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't take long for it to balloon out to 2 hours,
No,
though.
no.
Like, I'm glad that it held steady and those trends didn't continue. But, like, it did only take about fucking 20 episodes before.
You refresh the questionnaire to the better version,
Yeah, that
And
was
we-
like in
That was
around...
a big step.
and we didn't chronologically go through the episode anymore.
Yeah, we stopped doing
Yes.
like within our first year.
Yeah,
Like,
the walkthrough sort of gave us trouble because you couldn't talk about it as plot. Because the plot, like the start and the finish and the middle, they all interact different, you know?
yeah. And I mean, I do listen to a few Simpsons podcasts who do that, the chronological recap, and like, while it's good for like maintaining where you are and like
Yeah.
giving the listener a sense
Yeah.
of purpose, but like as a podcaster, you just spend so much time relaying the exact things that happen in the episode and not like just picking the segments to prove an overall point,
Yeah.
which I think is the
Yes.
more interesting way to
It's
listen.
like if you haven't seen the episode, that's a great thing to talk you through it. But if you haven't seen the episode, go watch the episode.
Yeah.
That's not the
You're
point of
still
a
not going
podcast.
to understand the commentary
That's what
on it.
the episode. That's what the episode's for.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you don't listen to the Simpsons commentaries going, hey, shut up, I forgot where we were in the episode, you know.
Wait a second. What are they talking about? I haven't seen this.
Yeah.
Guys, I've had so much fun.
Yeah.
Just like on all of these episodes, to be honest, but really tonight especially.
Yeah, this has been a good one.
In nice times.
Yeah. Even
Too right, in it, etc. Pip
Know what I
cheerio
mean?
and all that. Yeah.
All right, let's get some fresh air.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's got
No, I mean,
we got podcast stank in us.
I will see you
In our
guys
pause.
again soon.
You heard him.
Down by the sheesh store.
Down by the sheet store.